My delightful delinquent debutantes, welcome to the show. This right here is a show I like to call. Hang on now. There's a show I'd like to call Gabbing and Games. Welcome. It's nice to see everybody. This is not Gabbing and Games. Sorry, this is Jaffe Talk. Fuck you. I don't know. Some days it's one thing. It doesn't matter. We're going to talk some video games. Top of the show. We got a great guest today. We got one of the developers of one of my favorite games from last year coming on. The game's called The Killing Antidote. We'll talk about all that. It's an early access right now on Steve, my friend Steve, he just has it. On Steam, we have Recfest 2 news and a trailer. A lot of other good stuff we're going to be talking about and just hanging out and shooting the shit tonight. Welcome to the show. It is nice to see everybody. I don't know if you guys caught the 3-hour plus playthrough we did this morning with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I like that game a lot. I did not expect to like it. I know it's sitting right now. Let's see where it is. Last I checked, it was an 87. Let's see if they've gone up or if they're hanging out where they are. There it is. I just swallowed some paper. They're sitting at an 88 right now on Metacritic, and it's really good. So Uncensored says that it's so boring. That game, Kingdom Come Deliverance. All I can tell you is that it's not the kind of game I usually play. That is for absolute goddamn sure. It seems to me like I was playing it today and people on the stream were like, oh yeah, there's no way you're going to play this for more than a few minutes and you're going to hate it and you'll never finish it. I may never finish it, probably won't. And it was surprisingly engaging. I really thought it was neat. It was very immersive. I like losing myself in this particular world. I think it's just, it might be an age thing. It might be that I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons these days in real life or over the computer with people. I really like being in these fantasy worlds more than I have in a very long time. So I'm just as surprised as almost anybody that I'm digging it as much as I am. But yeah, I mean, before you drop the ducats, make sure you know what it is. Yeah, Matthew says it's a good game for people who like to role play. I think that's right. I think like when you settle in, you turn off the lights, whether you're streaming or not, and you just allow yourself to sort of lose yourself in that world. It's quite cool. It is quite cool. And what's weird about that game is the trailers for the game were goofy and funny. And I remember watching it at Keeley's show when they did the last trailer. And I'm like, okay, is this like a goofy slapstick? Because I'd never played the first one. And I'm sure people are saying, oh, there are funny parts in it. But so far, it is absolutely not that. And it kind of makes me want to play Red Dead Redemption 2, which I've always been putting off because people tell me, Jaffe, that game's so boring. You're going to hate it. But maybe I've matured as a gamer, or maybe I've just, I don't fucking know what it is. Shut up. I don't know what it is, but I know that suddenly I'm into Kingdom Come Deliverance. And so, in that, maybe I'll keep playing it. I think so. Have I played The Witcher 3? Kind of the same experience, man. Which is to say that it felt a little too not for me where I was in my head at the time. And that's not to say that I'm still loving Ninja Gaiden 2. But I do think I just really like losing myself into fantasy worlds more as I get older. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm not sure if that's mentally healthy or not. In the chat right now, Cantankerous says, could you have attacked the old woman? That I don't know. I don't know how Skyrim it is. What he's talking about, this was my playthrough from earlier today, and it's really dark. And my guy ended up in this cabin or this shack of this old woman, and she took care of me and she took care of my buddy. And I don't know if you could like attack them and kill them and it would have totally changed like it would have changed the narrative. I have no clue. My guess is probably not. I don't think it's that kind of game, but it's possible. But I'll do a little of that kind of role playing. But I really like the stats. I went in after the stream and spent a bunch of perk points, and it's real deep. It's real nice. I'm a fan. So anyway, welcome. Good to see you. Man Cave drops the first of many super chats today because we're saving up for a big goal. I don't know if we are not, but we ain't looking at feet tonight, boys. Morning, he says, hello, sir. How much was God of War 1 and 2 budgets? I don't remember God of War 2 specifically, Man Cave, but I will tell you that I know God of War 1 without marketing was about 25 million, which is pretty, back then it was kind of scary to think about spending that kind of money. But now, of course, it's like, Jesus, that's a fucking bargain, man. But yeah, it was about 25 million. Mutant Mo says, I know exactly how to motivate Jaffe to play Red Dead GeForce Now. I would love that. I bought it. I own it on Steam, and that is what I had been waiting to play it on. But my understanding is Rockstar doesn't bring any of their shit to GeForce Now. So sadly, I'm just going to have to play it on my PC, which, it's an old game. I'm sure I can crank it up to the max and stuff, but oh my God, I didn't realize there's 2 Jaffes. Oh, there's so many of us. Okay. And there might be or Carlos. What? Okay. Oh, more Jaffe. Yeah. Oh God. Okay. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Now listen to this. I want to talk about this very briefly. Oh no. Gravedigger says, he says, I watched the stream from yesterday earlier today. I just so happened to be eating lunch when the foot fiasco happened. Here's the man of the hour. Here's Tech Protect right here. Tech's our producer. And yesterday, you stupid sons of bitches raised about $100 so he'd put his fucking feet on the stream, and he fucking did it. How's that feel to know that at least one member of the chat, after when they were watching it, they pleasured themselves to your fucking feet?
My father saw it and said, that's exactly what's going to happen. So
your father did not see it. Your father watches this fucking show?
Well, I sent him the link of the video clip. I was like, look, here's my feet. He's like, there's going to be some assholes that are going to yank it to that. And I was like, yeah, probably.
And I was,
by the way,
yeah,
if we get $100 super chat, I can buy Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I'll show my belly button. All right, we're keeping that in there.
I'm a little confused. Why Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 doesn't cost $100?
Well, no, but I want some motivation. Plus, if you're gonna split the money with me, I gotta get my money's worth. You get your portion.
What the fuck did I say? I was splitting the money with you. All right, fine. Sure. Hey, went away. But yeah. So yeah, Mutant Mo says he's proud of you. I don't know. Yeah. How many fucking storefront launchers are there now? Says Kevin. You know what? I really don't know, but it kind of doesn't bother me. I know a lot of people were really pissed off about when the Epic Game Store launched, and it was like, no, I got another fucking store I got to open, and now Ubisoft. It's like, it's called Windows. You got a whole bar at the bottom. You just click on it, and it opens up, and you go on with your day. I think we would have peace in the Middle East if one day every gamer on the internet just didn't complain about anything. That's what I think. Speaking of, now listen to this. I push back, and I'm mad. I'm not mad. I'm not in a bad mood, but I'm done even pretending. I don't care. I'll tell you the same thing I told Shannon Studstill when she came to me on God of War 1. And she's like, dude, we're worried about this and that and the other, and we're not sure this is going to work. And I said, you know what? I don't care. I said, if this is the last game I ever fucking make, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go down with the ship. I believe in this. So here's what I'm telling you right now. And it doesn't mean every day I'm going to be aggressive about it, but here's what I'm telling you right now. I'm tired. I will no longer even pretend to placate a lot of these fucking assholes. I'm sick of these entitled little fucks online, and we are taking it to them. I don't mean we're going to troll them and shit like that. That is not what I mean. I don't want anything to, but I'm not going to put up with their shit anymore, and I'm going to call it out for what it's worth. There's a guy today, and I got no issues with this. I got no issues with this human being. I'm sure he's a good guy. But he says, he's talking about the creator of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This guy posted a tweet, Daniel Viara, I think he works on the game. And this guy, Alex, Sin by Games, who's a game professor, he teaches games. I got no issues with the guy. But he says, this is the second time that this director, or whoever he is, has complained about the, hey, Tech, will you look up Daniel? And then I'm going to spell the name, Vavra. I want to see what he did on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. He says, this is the second time this Daniel fella has complained about unfavorable reviews, and I have never really seen many leads of studios doing this, so I'm canceling my pre-order and I'm going to wait for a sale. It's kind of pathetic to be in that position of power and be a baby about opinions. And so here's what happened. Games Hub gave the game 50 out of 100. And they didn't like it, clearly. And Daniel, who maybe is the head of the studio, maybe he's the director of the game. Okay, he's the game director. Here's what he wrote. He says, a trusted news source, mission accomplished. We are no longer 90% Metacritic. Be proud of your excellent journalistic standards. Now, whether or not, and here's what I'm pushing back. I don't give a fuck if somebody gives the game a 1 out of 10. That's not my problem. If somebody likes it, they don't like it, whatever, who gives a shit? But you know what I'm tired of? I'm so fucking tired of these fucking gamers who, on one hand, demand, and prop up this idea, games are art, and stop telling developers what to make, and stop pushing all the DEI shit on them, and stop pushing business and let them be artists, all this bullshit that they just think games and creativity happens in a vacuum. I'm sick of that. And on the other hand, they turn around, and when a game director stands up or a game creator stands up and defends the project, the product that they have put blood, sweat, and tears into, that they fucking love, what they're basically told is to basically shut up and dribble, or shut up and dance, or shut up and sing. And it's like, fuck you, motherfucker. This motherfucker made the game he wanted to make, and these are his children. Do I love my real life kids more than my video game kids? Of course I do, but they're still my children. The big ones and the failures, the hits and the flops, the big sellers and the barely break evens. So you know what you should be doing? You should be thanking God there are still people who are willing to work in the fucking AAA industry, that are willing to basically be what you call unprofessional and fucking stand up for something they believe in. I am so fucking tired of you whiny little bitches out there that never do shit. Go make your own fucking game. Go learn to program. Go join a company. Figure out how to make it with Unity or ChatGPT. Write a book. Write a comic. But stop bitching about it. You sound like a fucking 12-year-old who was never raised properly by their parents. You want someone who loves their fucking game. You want someone who will stand up for their game no matter how foolish it makes them look. I'm so tired of this shit. I'm so fucking tired of it. Related to this conversation, I asked Shuhei yesterday. I said, hey, come on my show. He says, well, I'm not going to tell you exactly what he said, but here was the gist of it. And it's because I'm a I don't know what I am, but I can't be counted on to toe the line. Let's put it that way. I says to the man, I says, come on my show. And he's a nice guy. I like Shu a lot. He says, well, in essence, he says, coming on your show, maybe not right now, because it's kind of your show's somewhat unique. And so basically, I think what he's saying is, you're not going to mince words, but aren't you fucking tired of these bitches? Maybe I'm tired of them because I spend all day on the internet looking for news stories. Maybe they don't seep into your life like mold does through the cracks in the wall. But for me, I'm just kind of like, man, shut up, man. This man made a game. People love it. They love the new one. And fucking here's a game that doesn't have any of the DEI shit. None of it's real that you guys complain about, but these guys are fucking complaining about. None of it's in there. Now I got something new to complain about. And let me tell you something else about this bullshit. I'm playing this game right now. What's the goddamn thing? Kingdom Come 2. I'm really enjoying it, thinking it's great. I'm playing this fucking thing right now. And let me put some gameplay. Here you go. I'm playing this fucking game right now. And it's filled with white people. All it is fucking white people, right? And guess what? It should be, unless some weird thing happens in the story, as they said in the first game, as they said in the second game. It doesn't make sense to have black people here. This is trying to be a historically accurate game. They're not trying to be Assassin's Creed historically accurate in terms of having also science fiction concepts, taking a lot more artistic license, which is the history of that franchise. So far, this franchise, which is on number 2 out today, is like, look, we're trying to Jimmy Cameron, the Titanic movie here with our game. Okay. No problem with it all being white people, but where are the people that were bitching about this game? What was that thing? Tales of Zinkar. What that fucking Zao, this thing? Oh, this is a DEI game. Why? Well, it's just black people. Yeah, because it's fucking set in Africa, you fucking idiot, a long time ago. Why aren't these same people going, oh, it's DEI, all the fucking white people. What the fuck is this? They're nowhere. How long until you, and I don't mean the regular audience. You guys know good and well why I appreciate you being here. I'm talking about you fucking hate watchers that believe this fucking shit. How long until you wake the fuck up? This is a problem for them, but I don't hear them at all bitching about Kingdom Come Deliverance. Why not? Oh, you know why not, and I know why not. You might as well just at least earn some respect from people and go, well, you see, the truth is, Jaffe, I'm a fucking racist. That's what it is. I agree, Blackjack. The anti-woke movement has ruined the hobby. They haven't ruined it. I mean, you don't have to live online. There's a great fucking game. It never comes up as far as I know. I'm excited for Assassin's Creed. I'm just bringing it up because I'm tired of I'm just in a bad, no, that's wrong. I'm not in a bad mood. Like I'm in a very aggressive mood is what I would say. Because I'm sick of fucking seeing them. Fuck you, Froggy T, right? Why are you making drama? I'm not. Are you new here, bitch? I'm not making drama. This is a channel where I show up and I express myself genuinely and honestly. I was playing this game earlier today and I love this game so far. I'm surprised that I enjoy this game as much as I do. I'm not making drama. After playing this game and enjoying it, I go online and I encounter a bunch of these fucking idiots and they piss me off. All right? So settle the fuck down. Now you're making drama. Okay, you know what? But even if I were making drama, you fuck, I go, to make money, to bring in audience members, to up the clicks. What do you mean, why am I making drama? A, because drama is fun. B, because I'm passionate about this. I'm tired of idiots. No need to call me names, says Froggy T. Wright. Your name is Froggy T. Wright. You already call yourself a name. You've already you've beat me to the punch, Froggy. Call in, Froggy. Put the link up there, Tech Protect. Let people know how to call in and express their beautiful brain pans. I would appreciate it. Listen to this. We got Brett Moore saying, you ever consider making pre-recorded, edited Let's Plays? You get to play and enjoy the game on your own terms without the distraction of chat. I have done that a couple of times, and I consider doing it more, and I probably will. Let me know what game you'd like me to do that. Yes, Froggy. Yes, Froggy. Froggy says, where'd he go? You telling me to calm down? Yes, Froggy, I'm telling you to calm down. Kevin, I'm just having fun. I don't give a shit. Cantankerous, thank you, buddy. 32 months, Colt Calypso, and Brett Moore, Colt Calypso. Thank you, guys. Man, Brett Moore's been a member for 35 months. Froggy, why can't you do what Brett Moore does or Cantankerous does? Listen to this. Oh, cool. Cantankerous Games Inc. says we officially sold our first microtransaction in our mobile game this week. Tell us what your mobile game is. I will put it up on the screen right now to let everybody know. We'll let everybody know. Come on now. The combat is awesome in Dragon Age Veilguard. Absolutely, CC. It's fun. It's really fucking fun. I enjoy it a great deal. A great deal. So here's Tech Protect screen. I guess this is the guy. This is the guy who made the game and made the tweet. And we have Alex in the waiting room. Alex, as in Alex, which Alex? Alex, the guy studying to be a priest, or Alex, our guest who works on Killing Antidote? Oh, that Alex. Okay, cool. Well, what time is it? Because I was going to start with Alex at 6, but let's fuck it. Let's lead into that. It's 5:55. Let's fucking do it. Let me kind of lead everybody into this. But the point is this: I'm tired of it. Intergalactic Cat Rescue. Let's see the guys. Let's see. Intergalactic Cat Rescue is their new game. Night Dog gonna sue somebody. Intergalactic Cat Rescue game. All right, here we go. Save all the. I think I played this. Didn't you give me a real early version of this game? Let's see. Yeah, I played this. This is fun. This is a mobile game. I don't think it's on Steam, is it? And you guys sold your first. Good for you. Congratulations, man. English Teacher Plays. He's playing your game. Look at him playing that goddamn thing. Well, there's a TARDIS. You guys getting sued. You guys are getting sued. That's great, though, buddy. That's great. Alex Jones going to talk game conspiracies. Really? I want to watch that. I want to watch that. Uncensored says, can we talk about how incredibly boring the Capcom show was? I mean, it was pretty boring. Yeah. I mean, they didn't promise you anything, did they? They just kind of, they showed us a little bit of new stuff about, what's that thing called? Monster Hunter. And then they showed a little bit more of the Onimusha. And, then they showed, I mean, it was fine, but it wasn't like, here's a new Onimusha trailer. Hey, Resident Evil 9. Hey, Dino Crisis, but I mean, they didn't really train us to expect that. But, Froggy says, I saw some weird people online calling Kingdom Come Deliverance woke because you can romance another man. I mean, you know what? This is what I'm saying, Froggy. Maybe you and I are simpatico. Maybe you and I are kindred spirits. Maybe you and I will romance one another. Go on, Jeffy. You can do it. Wink. Maybe we'll romance one another. But the point, shut up, Tech Protect. But the point is, go back to playing with your fucking feet. The point is, yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. People just need to shut the fuck up and enjoy video games, because one of the things, and I don't know if you played it, Froggy, but one of the things that's great about Kingdom Come right now is the fact that it is really immersive. Like I said, I don't know how many choices you can actually have as it relates to the branching narrative, if there is a branching narrative. But so I don't know, but I do know that one of the things that makes it so immersive is you have a lot of freedom within the pocket they give you to play. And if romancing the same sex or the opposite sex or whatever is an option, these people aren't gamers, because you would probably, if you're a real gamer, you'd say that's great. You'd say that's fucking great. And you'd say, just like in people bitching the other day about, oh, you can go into the castle, the temple of Assassin's Creed Shadows and destroy everything. That's sacrilegious. And it's like, nobody forced you to go in there. That's a you problem. You should be celebrating games that give us choice. All right, look, I want to talk about the Killing Anecdote. Killing Anecdote is one of my favorite games. I don't know how I discovered this game. We will get to some of the other news. We'll talk in a little bit about we will talk in a little bit about a little Battlefield news, some Recfest 2 news. But right now I'm excited to have this young gentleman here. This I'm going to put up on the screen. I don't know how I discovered this game. I don't know how it came across my radar. I've played it on stream a bunch. And it is called, hang on, wrong thing. It is called The Killing Antidote. And it's an early access on Steam right now. They just released a pretty beefy upgrade. Well, they just released a small one, but a few days ago, I think they added a whole new chapter or section of a chapter, which I haven't played yet. And it's basically, if you don't know, it is Resident Evil 2 remake. This is my pitch. This is not what they're saying. It's Resident Evil 2 remake, but it's done in a very, you don't have to, like, hey, here's a choice. You don't have to run the woman around in her panties, and her panties get ripped and damaged. And what I like about it too is then you find a sewing kit. Like, would you like to repair her underwear? And I'm like, no, the fuck would I want to do that for? But it's very fun. It's very well made. I will say, and I'll say that to this guy's face, Alex, who's about to call in, who's working on it. There's nothing so far about this game that is, oh my God, it's so innovative. I've never seen that before. What I love about this game, besides it just being a fun zombie shooter, is it is so unapologetic about what it wants to be. It is so elite, whether that's intentional or not. It is so just happy to be what it is. It's a good, well-made B movie with some TNA and some violence, and it's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Okay, so let me bring on Alex and Tech. You can just jump in as you will if you need to. Let me know if we end up missing any good chats that you think Alex might be interested in that I miss and things like that. All right, Tony, Tech, yes, good. All right. Alex, it is I, Jaffe. It is you, Alex. How are you, sir? How's life?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. You, sir, worked on one of my favorite games of the year. I will want to say thank you for it. I hope it's doing well for you guys. Are we going to see your beautiful face, or are we going to be looking at this nice lady in the shower? What's happening on this show?
I left my camera at the office, so I'm gonna have to look at Jody for a bit.
Okay, is that her name? I don't even know her name. I just, I love this game. Okay, so and I have questions. Let me bring up some of my questions, but I just want to talk to you about it. I want to first say thank you for spending some time with us on the show today and talking about the game. So you guys came out. This game came out in early access. When did you guys publish this? Like first, because I know you weren't on the game originally, correct?
I joined the team a couple of years into development.
Okay.
We only had the playtest available. With the playtest, we would have, we have this much done, put it to the public, test it rigorously, fix it, so on and so forth.
Okay.
I joined during that era, and it was only back in October that we actually went early access.
Okay. A couple of months ago then. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so first question is, how is it doing? Like, are other people vibing with this like I am, or is it like, Jaffe, you're really the only person who's talked about this, or does this have like a groundswell of support and interest, or what's been the response?
There's been a couple. So during the playtest era, there's always a few like nut jobs out there. I remember seeing a couple of reviews like, don't play this game. This is a scam. There's no hardcore or sex in this. I'm like, it's a free demo, so where's the scam too? We never said there was sex in this. Where are you getting your information from?
Right. Right.
But then when we went early access, that's when like people, because you're at that point you could leave reviews. Yes. When we launched early access, we launched also a new section of the game. And so that wasn't rigorously tested during playtest. And that section was incredibly difficult. So we got review bombed to hell. And it took us revision after revision to get back into good standing. Because at the time, it was so hard, even I couldn't beat it.
What was that about? Because, I mean, I've worked on games before, and, until we really started getting serious at Sony about playtesting games, we would just tune it. We'd go like, okay, well, let's tune it for what we think medium is. And we would just tune it so fucking hard because we had all the muscle memory and we had gotten used to it. Is that why it was hard? Or was there like somebody on the team that's like, I'm going to fucking make this the Souls game of TNA games? Or what was
that's how I pitch it, actually. So beyond me saying like, it's just a sexy Resident Evil clone from China knockoff, I also say think of it as Souls with guns. Like, it's not supposed to be easy. If you want an easy game, you can lower the difficulty to easy, I guess.
Okay.
But the section in particular, it's this part where you have to do like a stealth section. And at the time, you had absolutely no weapons. We also had it programmed so enemies...
is this with the human soldiers in the warehouse section?
Yeah. So at the time, you had absolutely nothing. You didn't have a bow and arrow.
Okay.
The enemies spawned forever. They all had machine guns. So it was just impossible. So it's understandable why people found it difficult. And we had to scale it back a number of times.
Okay. And now, I mean, I'm not a great gamer. I play tons and tons of games, but I'm not good at any game. I'm not, but I can, I'm good enough to play pretty much anything you put in front of me to an extent. And I've had no problem with this game. So I love the way it's currently tuned. And I hope that that trajectory stays. But once you guys change that, did the reviews suddenly start picking up and were people talking about it?
When early access, I think we were at like 53 to 58% positive on Steam.
Okay.
And then it took us 2 or 3 patches of just balancing it more. And we're up to like, I think like 91 or 93%.
Wow. Right now.
When I last checked.
Okay. So has there been any pushback like from people, or because I went out with this game, I made a video about this game and I said to a lot of these guys, they're not all grifters, but some of them are, but to a lot of these guys that are like, they don't make games like they did in the 90s. I'm like, dude, play Killing Antidote. This is what you want. It's fun. It's even if it was, a woman running around dressed as a fucking nun. It's a genuinely well-made RE2 style game. And it also happens to let you just go fucking freaky deaky all day long. And they were pushing back on me like, that's not what we want. It's an asset flip game and blah, blah. Like, this game looks fucking awesome. And it's made by 3 fucking people. And it doesn't even matter if it's made by 1,000 people. It's a good looking game. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, actually, that is true. Originally we only had 2 members of the team. They're both based out of China. and only my role is only just social media and anything English side.
Yep.
So they only have 2 members, obviously one who does the coding and one who does the assets, but at that point it would take an eternity and a half to get this far with 2 people. So of course we had to go on like the Unreal store and be like, okay, what model packs can we buy?
Right. And do you think that's just maybe a vocal minority on the internet? Because when people's newest bee in their bonnet is saying, maybe they just learned this term somewhere. It's like, it's a fucking asset flip. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Well, it totally is. I'm not going to deny that.
But why is that bad? I mean, you're getting to make your game. What do you want them to have to spend $100 million to make this game? This is the whole problem, is that games cost too much money, and this is an option. And there's, I don't know, maybe I'm mad and you're like, dude, I'm not mad at these guys. I just get pissed at them for some reason. It would bother me.
I know when I first saw the game, I was just on Steam looking at demos. I'm like, what's this horny game? And I played it. I'm like, oh, the controls are tight.
Yeah.
I want to work on this.
So what happened? So you call these guys in China.
I hit them up and I'm just like, hey, how come you guys don't have any social media? Oh, we don't know English. All right, I'll take care of it. How come you guys don't have a Patreon? We don't have Patreon in China. Okay, I'll take care of it.
Okay, so you guys are funding through Patreon at this point and early access, correct?
Yeah, so right now we only have 1 tier on Patreon. It's just $5 and you just get a costume pack.
Okay.
And we're looking at bringing other tiers. I'm still trying to get the go-ahead on that. But with those ones, I want to bring things out like you can play earlier versions of the game, or maybe we'll send you physical merchandise, things like that.
What you can send her used panties. Come on, Alex, just go with me here. Let me have my fantasies. Here's the deal. What is the tier you said on Patreon? How much and what do you get? What's the costume you get?
It's a costume bundle.
Okay.
It comes with a number of clothing. So back in playtest era, we had a number of costumes on there. And we also had a number of costumes in the game, but because of local laws overseas, the game is too sexy by the government. And they're like, hey, you have to change the clothing.
When you say, sorry, just so we're all clear, when you say overseas, you mean China Sea over there or over here?
Yeah, over there.
Okay.
The game is deemed too sexy. So there's like, you can't sell the game this sexy. You have to change some of the clothing. I'm like, okay, we'll replace the clothing, make them more modest. But any other the sexy things we'll just put out for free as like a pack somewhere. And that also we open up Steam Workshop, and a lot of people are making fantastic mods
already.
Yeah, well, even before, like back in playtest era, people were doing stuff over like on Nexus and stuff, and now that we have Steam Workshop, people are bringing really cool cosmetics. They're bringing in their own map. Someone brought in, I think, like
I was going to say, did somebody add a fucking map to this game?
Yeah, like, so there's a couple survival maps people have out.
No. I mean a heads-up display map, like an actual
HUD.
Because where's the map in this game is what I want.
There's a tool, actually.
Okay.
When you first go through that first vent with like the 3-4 crawlers.
Yep.
When you get to the other side, there's these little, because if you see here on your screen, it says position marker in the top left.
Okay.
That's the map tool. You drop one of those at a point of interest, like, hey, I got to come back here for XYZ reason.
Okay.
You drop it, you hit, I think it was V on your keyboard, and it just pings and saying, hey, go this way. This is where you want to be.
Oh,
that's our map system.
And no, am I just daft because I didn't know that, or is it
literally nobody uses it?
Do they? I'm going to use it now, but I had no idea what it was. I didn't know what that thing did. I mean, is that part of the process you're in now? Like, as you guys are going through early access, it's like, okay, there's some onboarding and stuff that we need to explain better, or are you guys not going to?
I think that's my fault. I have to clean up the text files still. A lot of the instructions on how to like do certain events aren't clear. It's like, I don't know where to go. It's like, yeah, I didn't write it clearly. I'll have to fix that.
Right. Yeah. There's one thing that says, get back to the room where you lost your backpack. And I spent forever going, what, where am I going? And in fact, if you look at the screen right here, where she is, I spent forever going, okay, I guess I have to get in that room, and I would backtrack. And finally I had to go online. Like, I hope to God, tell me this. Am I the only guy complaining about this section right here?
No, everyone complains about the elevators.
Well, the grenade.
Oh, everyone complains about the grenade mechanic too.
Okay. I don't mind the mechanic, but just to show people who are watching what we're talking about. I loved this part when you go.
That was crazy
with the hanging bodies. That was so clever and so creative. I loved it. If you go into this room, there is a crack in the wall, and obviously we all know what to do with cracks in the walls, blah, blah, blah. And you go in there but it's so far away. And the puzzle, I guess, ends up being you have to throw a grenade over a ledge so that it bounces and hits it just right. And then that will open up the next section of the game. And I was just like, okay, what? Is that something you guys have gotten feedback on that you might change or not really? Like you like that as a puzzle?
I need to see exactly what you're talking about.
I will show you. It is right. It's one of those sections where she's out on some like the ground's pretty easy, right? Where you go, oh, okay, I'm on the ground and I can throw a grenade and it's easy peasy. It's when you're on that level with the vending machine and you go out to some of the stairs. God damn it, I just saw it. Now I got to find it for you. I could maybe send it later, but 1 second. I would say those are the two biggest problems I had with the game, which is this section I'm telling you about. Oh, here we go. Not down there, but there's one. If she kept going back, here she goes. Right. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah. Even then, I kept screwing up too.
That crack right there, because you have to basically throw a grenade, and it has to go over the thing and bounce and hit this to blow up. And you're like, oh,
well, there's an alternative. You can just throw a landmine on it and just shoot that.
I had no clue you could do that either. So let's talk about that. I'm curious. So you've got these guys in China, 2 guys still. Well, are there more or still 2?
We recently hired a few more people.
Okay.
We're bigger than a team of 10 at this point.
Okay. So
it's just going to speed up development time.
Has this pinged your, like, how do you know this is a problem besides somebody just writing you? Do you have telemetry and analytics and people seem to always quit when they get to this, or are you?
This is the first time I've heard them talk about this particular spot.
Really fascinating. Okay. So well, maybe it is just me, but this is how much I like the game. Usually I would have shelved it and never come back. And then I'm like, you know what? I love the spirit of this game so much. I just need to figure out where to go next. And I think part of it was because I have that office that's locked with the glass. And I'm like, am I supposed to climb up on this rigging? And, it really sent me into a total confusion zone. But I'm curious if other people have had that experience. But so when you do get feedback, what do? You just call these guys in China and say, here's 5 things I keep hearing a lot. And
yeah, when it's a major issue, yes. But if it's like a one-off or a skill issue, then I don't bring it up. So not a lot of people are saying like, oh, I can't defeat this enemy type. It's like, have you pressed the dodge button? Have you tried not walking directly into them when they're attacking? Things like that. Right.
But what about, like, have you pressed the dodge button? Like, how do you know the difference? Because this is one of my big bees in my bonnets about indie games right now, because so many people are making them and they don't have the resources that, the big teams have and that I was used to when I was working on big games. Is I wonder about the onboarding stuff. Like when you say, have you pressed the dodge button? Do you guys as a team feel there is a responsibility at some point before you go out of early access to go, we need to make sure every mechanic the player has to do in order to have a good time? It's not some boring tutorial, but we feel good about, we feel good that we've done the work to let them know this stuff is there, because I don't think there's a tutorial in this game. There might be. I don't remember. It's been a while.
The tutorial is just you playing the game. We introduce concepts as you need them.
Okay. So there's no dodge button concept you introduce, or there is?
I think I have to double check.
Okay.
I don't think about those things. I just know if you need a dodge, hit control.
Okay, but wait a minute. You don't think about these things. The guys in China are supposed to deal with these things. Is that the idea? Because you're translating.
I think maybe what it should say is like, because when I'm playing the game, I turn off tips, so I don't get those pop-ups saying this key does this key does that.
Okay.
So I don't remember if I even wrote a thing for that. I have to double check.
So who's responsible then for that? Like, who is watching the store basically of the gameplay going where people are not knowing about this button? Like, where does that process happen?
I think it's people just ignoring a lot of text. So like, for example, before when we had, because right now the save points is you interact with the bed to save. Yeah. We had pop-ups in the middle of the screen saying, hey, wooden doors can break if you hit the lock. You can save using the bed.
I thought that was so cool, the wooden door thing.
But the problem is nobody read them.
Right.
Despite them being in the middle of your screen where your crosshair is. And at that point, it's like, I can't help you if you choose not to read.
Well, you can, but it's work, right? Because I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's not work. At that point, I have to then force them to do it. It's like, you can't continue unless you do the action. I'm showing you the text on how to do it. Please just do it when you're ready.
Okay. Can I push back on you a little bit as somebody who's made games and good ones and bad ones? I totally get that position. Sometimes you go, I mean, I've sat in focus tests before or play tests where I'm just like, are these players fucking stupid? It's right there. It's right fucking there, right? I know exactly what you mean. And it makes you want to pull your fucking hair out. But there is a point where the end of the day, though, for whatever reason, they're not replicating your experience. Maybe they've got a kid crying in the background, or maybe they're, I don't fucking know. Maybe they can't read. I have no fucking clue. But I know the only games I've worked on that have been successful have been the ones that we have play tested within an inch of their lives. And we've been like, we don't want to bore people with bad tutorials because we all hate tutorials. But I'm just saying that could actually help your game a bit. So something to think about. The fact that you guys are going, we don't really think about it. For the love of God, please think about it, because you guys got a great fucking game, man. I'd hate to see people miss out on it.
Jeff, we got two things to mention. One is a super chat from Johnny Utah. He's talking about legal trouble that the game might have.
Okay, let's see. He says, my girlfriend. Oh, fuck you, Johnny Utah. Alex, this is Johnny Utah. He's half a fucking hair's breadth away from being a goddamn moron. He says, my girlfriend never gave you permission to use her likeness. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. Fuck you,
Johnny. I don't know how to tell you this. It's actually your girlfriend's twin sister. We took her likeness. So check your facts.
Right.
We have a second one. New chatter
right now in Alex's bedroom waiting, so he's got to wrap this up. Johnny Utah.
New chatter we haven't seen. I don't think I've seen.
Okay.
We have Feet Connoisseur.
Oh,
who
Jesus
says,
Christ.
obviously, you need to paint the door handles yellow.
Okay, you guys can make fun of that, and I get it. You're absolutely right. It's a pain in the ass. Okay. But the fact is, if the players are missing it, the players are fucking missing it. So Brett Moore asked, do you guys even want feedback? Yeah, maybe they don't. Maybe they're like, look, we're not interested in playtesting this within an inch of our lives. We want to put the game out. And if you figure it out, great. If not, no harm, no foul. Like, what is the philosophy on that? How much do you guys look at yourself as wanting to serve the audience, and how much of it like this is our own artistic project, and if you get it, you get it. If you don't, we don't really care. What's the philosophy there?
I would say 50-50 at that point.
Okay.
I know that, like, it comes back to what I was saying. It's Dark Souls with guns.
Okay.
And so it's at least my experience with Dark Souls is they don't explain shit. It's you didn't leave that room 12 times, and the third time you walked backwards and you did the storyline. Like, how am I supposed to figure that shit out? Come on. So it's that, but not to that extreme.
But to be fair, Dark Souls, now because of just the culture going in, it presents as that, right? So if you're a gamer and you go online, it's like, dude, that's Dark Souls, that's hip hop, But if you play this, it presents as RE2, which is a very clear, not family friendly game, but it's not a casual game at all. But it's a very, it's a different kind of experience that the game leads you to believe you're getting into. And anyway, I'm not knocking the game. I love the game. I just want to see it do great. And I think there are some key things that are missing from it. And since I have you on the phone, you goddamn right, I'm going to share them. One of them is that. The other one is the game. I either think the game needs a map or I'll try the ping thing you're talking about, but because that might be great. Does that solve it for you? Does it turn out that ends up being a good solution?
I know when I first played before I was on the team, I didn't even use a map. It's either you memorize it or you take a pen and paper, old school. The ping was just a nice little addition, but I don't know anybody who really uses it. Okay, so even when you know what it is, it doesn't really deliver at that point. It doesn't serve me that purpose because I already memorized it at that point.
I know. Oh my God, can I just be a pain in your ass, Alex?
Yeah, go for it.
You're on the team. I don't give a shit if you need it. Your job is to make the game for the people, right? Or no? It's like, I'm talking
about my experience before I joined the team.
Okay, but now, Alex, come on, baby, work with me here. You got this is a great thing. I'm telling you, go back to your guy. You speak Chinese, obviously, right?
Nope.
Well, how do you talk to these people?
I got their DMs.
Well, yeah, but You Google Translate or what?
Yeah, because that's why the English in playtest era was all Google Translate. Same with all languages.
Okay,
because they don't know anything beyond that. So I rewrote the script so it was coherent. In addition, I did punch it up because it did come off as really flat.
Okay.
And we also have a few community members who have done translations for their own language. We have one who did Arabic, which is coming soon, Spanish, French, and then anything else that our community is like, hey, I know this language, I'm fluent in it. Okay, well, come on, and I'll give you the files. You can edit.
Okay. Will you promise me you will take back 3 comments for me to the team, please? One of them.
I'll text him right now. What do you want me to say?
Okay, if you're not going to put a fucking map in, then you need, assuming you have the space in your memory to add some visuals, you don't have to buy any fancy assets, but so many of the walls look so much alike. There's no visual cueing, or if there is, it's very similar. So it is so easy. And I know part of it's supposed to be maze-like, but like there's that one concrete maze.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, okay, I know this is supposed to be hard, but it's so rare to see anything in the art in certain sections that you can go, oh, that's that area. Oh, this is the same thing, but there's a poster of a help wanted, we need nurses or whatever the fuck, wherever she is area. Mm-hmm. And in that, it's, if you're not going to give me a map, can you give me that? Because I'm like, a lot of times you just find yourself wandering around going, I don't know where the fuck I am in this game. And again, I'm saying this as a guy who it's one of my top 10 games last year. So I'm not knocking this game. I love it, but it's got some frustrating parts that I think could be smoothed out. So that would be a big request to the team. So play test it, man. Please play test it.
Well, our play so like I said, we only have like very small teams, so we don't have in-house play testers.
Okay.
That's why every update is our playtest. So there was a period during the playtest era before early access. We do everything piecemeal.
Okay.
We would say, okay, here's 2 rooms. Test it. Does it work? Okay, let's add 1 more room. Oh, that didn't work out. Okay, let's delete it and change it.
What has been the biggest surprise to you when you put this together and you make changes and stuff like that? What has been the thing that you're like, holy shit, that worked way better than we thought it was going to work?
It's a story beat. If chat's okay, I'm going to spoil something. It's crazy.
Is this when she gets the powers?
Because way back, I was putting out tweets. I'm like, man, I would love to do a collab with Dying Light on this game. That's pretty much that. I got what I wanted. But
what are they? I'm confused. I know what Dying Light is, but they're in this game. It's in their universe.
Well, no. But like that whole story beat of, hey, they're a test subject. They're some sort of super infected creature. That to me was close enough as I'll get.
Oh, okay. You're not saying that the Dying Light team actually is engaged in this product.
No, but I was thinking like at the time, a lot of games, it's like, oh, I would love to do like, hey, let's trade costumes. We'll put some of your costumes in our game. You can take some of ours.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Gotcha. If I can get a story beat, good enough for me.
Okay. Gotcha. And listen, where in the story, she gets sort of almost captured and then you're like, oh shit, she has powers. I loved that. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much that's going to play in later in the game because I don't think I kind of came late when I got through that wall, but you guys just now put some new content out, right? There's like a new chapter or something. If I remember.
So we put out chapter 2, part 1, which is part of, I don't know how many parts we're doing. Cause like I said, it's all piecemeal.
Okay. And do you have to select it from the menu or can I expect to find it in this chapter that you're seeing on screen and it like rolls in?
It would be in the menu.
Right. Okay.
It's under that R&D room.
Eventually, is it meant to be a kind of a linear experience where?
Oh, it is. As soon as she goes down that elevator, she goes into the next chapter.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, got it. Hey, baby.
Hey, Dad, you have a bunch of clothes in the dryer, and they smell really.
Okay, I'm going to rewash them, but I got to do this. I'm doing an interview right now with the guy who made this Sexy Time game.
That's great.
Yeah, I didn't take my clothes out of the dryer. It's fine, baby. Okay, so. Yeah, well, I would love. I don't know. Okay. Let me move on. Okay, so I want to talk about the sex in this game, and I want to talk about the this is being made in China. There is a big kind of narrative, at least on the internet right now, about in America or in the West about all of our games are woke and this, that, and the other, and the people in the East are the ones who are doing it right. Blah blah blah. How much do you know? That like how much of that has gotten to the team of, is this like intentionally meant to be a game that pushes back against what they're seeing in Western games, or
no, they just want to play something that's fun.
Okay, so they're just like, we just think this is cool, so we're not really thinking much more about that than this.
Yeah, it's what do we like and what do we wish we could play?
Okay. And is the game that I'm looking at right now, is this the same game that was that is currently if you download it and play it in China, or is this too sexy for China?
This would be the China version.
So what was it like before?
Before we just had certain clothing that were just way more provocative, like in terms of lingerie.
Okay, could you see the bits and pieces of the lady, or no?
You couldn't, but it was just the tone was too much, I guess.
Okay. If you were to take her clothes off, is it all fully modeled?
I believe, you know what? That's a good question. I don't run the nude mods that people download.
I only ask because I think it would be neat. You know, if you guys,
I think it is because there is a bug. If you go to her apartment,
yes,
she has a weightlifting room now.
I saw that. I didn't know what you do with it though.
All that you can do is just look at the posters on her wall to get some more contextual story clues.
Okay.
And interact with the yoga mat because we have the photo mode and people like taking pictures of her when she does yoga.
Okay.
I did see a bug when she wears a particular set of underwear with no pants. There is clipping.
Excellent. And in that there is something there.
There's a lot of something.
Okay. So have you considered selling a version on Steam in America or in the West where it's like, hey, $10 more and you get the R-rated version, because this is the PG-13 version.
There's no point. There's already mods for it.
Okay.
So there's no point in charging something that's already free.
I guess that's fair. But okay, fair enough. All right. And the has there been like what? Okay. Because you played this game the first time and you just thought, this is some sex game or something. Yeah. And now that you played it and said, holy shit, the controls are really good. It's an actual bona fide video game that's just really fucking cool. Mm-hmm. Have you noticed any kind of pushback because it can be played at such a sexual level, or no one is noticing it? It's not on anyone's radar. No one's pushing back, or most people are positive about it. Like I loved this. I thought it was super cool that
the only pushback, and I only had it a few times, and I thought it was really strange. They thought that the jiggle physics were too much.
Who's they?
Just some commenters. That was the only flack I got in terms of sexual criticism. It's those jiggle physics are ridiculous. I'm like, yeah, funny.
And they're awesome. I just like to jump in front of the mirror sometimes and see the tattoo on her butt go, But yeah, I imagine, when you guys come out of early access,
no one's gonna give a shit. It's gonna be anyone who pushes back, just doesn't want to play a game with tight controls.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it would be funny to see people push back, and I'm the most progressive guy you're ever going to meet, and I think this game's awesome, and I love how over the top sexy it is, and I wish it was more violent.
That's another issue. So the amount of sexuality we have in the game is the most we can legally put due to laws overseas.
Okay.
Same with the amount
of the gore? Same with
violence and gore. This is the limit. Now we have functionality. I have to rewrite it because it didn't come across clearly when they updated the file before I got to it. But there is a toggle where you can actually turn off dismembering zombies.
Oh, okay, but that's not the default, because I would never think to do that.
No, it's not the default, but I know some people are always concerned about what's okay to stream and what isn't. That's why we have 3 different colors for blood.
Okay.
Gray, transparent, red, and then now we have it for dismembering.
Well, Johnny Utah in the chat says, I'm a perv and I'm too lazy for mods. I would pay the $10 upcharge. I think you'd get a lot of people who would. I know for you that's very computer savvy, mods are easy. But for a lot of people, it's like, do I want to download that? Is it safe? And
I know. So the nude mod in particular is on a website. I won't say which, because I can't verify whether or not it's malware.
Okay.
But anything on Steam mods, yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah, I don't need it. I'm just saying that would be a cool thing. I think people would probably get a lot.
Johnny Utah listen, PayPal me $10. I'll just give you the file with the mod.
I don't. Yeah, he don't want to install it, man.
I'll do it for you. Get me on TeamViewer.
He's tech. he's not tech savvy, but he's got the ducats. He's got the money, baby. He don't want to do the work. But anyway, okay. What about in general? What is it like? I mean, in America, I've never been to China at all. I know there's some really neat things about China. There's a lot of propaganda we hear over here, and some of it's propaganda and some of it's absolutely true. Do you ever get a sense of like the differences between the cultures and sort of, you know, do they feel as people different in terms of sort of how free they are in expressing things artistically, or that's a bunch of propaganda and there's no real difference when you're dealing with these guys?
I plead the fifth.
I don't want,
just because I don't want certain people to get in trouble if I say certain things, which will reflect on the company.
So the very nature of you pleading the fifth is pretty much our answer. Then I think I understand. Okay. Okay. I'm looking at some of the questions I got from chat earlier.
Someone was ask why she has to shower because she got dirty, bro.
Oh, yeah. No,
you get that goop off.
She's a very dirty lady. That's what I love too. I just loved how silly's the wrong word, because it's not a wink, wink, nudge, nudge game. It plays it very straight. And I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's kind of like, well, I have this toxic shit all over me and I'm a very dirty girl. Yeah. I mean, it's excellent. It's so wonderful. What is coming up then? So, I mean, when you guys say you're making this piecemeal, I absolutely get that you're, you know, you just dropped a big new chapter. I'm looking forward to playing.
It's only about 20 minutes long.
Okay. So what is the process when you guys is this their full-time job, or they do it on weekends and nights, or what's the
full-time? So it's impossible to hold them on weekends.
Okay. Oh, right. But they're always working on it. Like it's a real job. It's not like a couple guys. Okay. So then what's the schedule? Like, what do they think the plan is for this? Or is it like, I don't know, we're working on a new chapter, we'll see where it goes? Or what's the
so this year we want to bring 3 things out. Finish chapter 2, hopefully. Or at least have a good chunk of it done. We're bringing, actually, there are bonus challenge modes which people have that they can play and unlock more costumes. For the challenge modes, we are bringing co-op play to that, not to the story mode, just a challenge.
Okay.
We are also bringing, someone talked about in the chat, we want to open up map making for challenge modes to the community.
So you can make your own challenge mode maps?
Yep. So we're working on just getting that put together, and then people can make their own cool challenges.
And where did that idea come from? Like, why on a game like this that clearly, in my mind, is a single player game, and I'm a selfish guy. I just want what I want. I don't care about anybody else. I don't want if I'm going to play a multiplayer game, it's not going to be this.
Well, that's what's only in the challenge modes, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying how much, you know, how does that decision get made? Like, do they say, we think the audience wants this? Or because I would go, don't do that. Give me another chapter. You know, give me some more powers for her, or give me, you know, let me play a different character, or, you know, that's what I want. But I assume there's a reason the choice was made, and that's not what's on the list, right? I mean, I'm curious about those decisions, how they get made with you guys.
It comes to, what do we want to play? Well, I would like to do challenge ones with my friends.
Got it.
Co-op, it's just the story is written as a single player story, so it just wouldn't work having co-op in there.
Okay. Yes, of course. Is there any way this could ever come to console? Robbo is asking.
Not at this time. We want to actually just finish the game first, and once we get to 1.0 status, then we can start looking at porting it over to other consoles. At the same time, that's when we would actually bring in English voice acting once the game is 100% done, because, like I said, we make rooms and then we end up deleting them because they just don't work out for whatever reason. So there's no point in recording all this stuff and be like, well, we threw away half our game in the past year. They had to re-record everything.
Absolutely. That makes total sense. So where is this going next then? Right now she's in this kind of hospital warehouse office building thing. Are you guys going to some really interesting new places, or it's mostly taking place in this kind of environment, and the next one is like what is the next chapter? Or can you say
chapter 2 is definitely going to be the R&D lab.
Okay, cool.
I know a couple of years back with the team lead was like, oh, I'd love to go open world. I'm like, That'd be great. We should finish what we have first, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Have they been pleased with the response? The two guys working on this?
Oh yeah. If they felt like nothing was working, they would just given up.
Okay. Okay. Good. Oh, that's great. All right. Well, let me. Tony, is there anybody that wants to either call in and ask Alex a question, or are there any chats that we want to get from Alex? Or Alex, is there anything you want people who are watching now or in the future when this goes to video on demand to know about the game? Like, when let me ask this: when can we expect? When do you? What's the plan for release the final out of early access and it's a done product?
A couple years at least, because we're in our 5th year right now.
Oh my god!
And we're only. To answer somebody's question, we're only just started Act 2 of 3.
Act 2 of 3. Okay. Got it. Okay. So it'll be a while. Awesome Tatum says, get some volunteer playtesters. Absolutely. I hope you guys do. Advertise on X or Twitter or on this show. We do ads on this show and make a Discord and I think they have a Discord and do a closed playtest. I think you guys have a Discord, right?
Yeah. I just actually amended some of the rules on there. So if you guys want to post inappropriate photos of Jody, go for it. I allow that now.
But I think, yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys will do some play testing because there's so much potential here. Just tell the guys in China, tell them there's just this blowhard guy in America who's like, he loves your game, and he thinks you need to do some play test. And even if we
offer discounts on marketing.
Yeah, that too, but it's worth it because it's really a nice surprise, and I don't want to see people miss this. So, anything else in the chat before we let Alex go? Or Alex, did you have any questions for the community?
Well, I had one for you. You said you had 3 suggestions, but you only told me one of them.
Well, I think so some kind of mapping, whether you give the player an actual map, whether you make the pings more effective, which it sounds like right now they're not, or you add some visual cueing to the environment. So if you're not going to give us a map, give me more things. And I don't need like fancy models like, oh, here's a statue, because I know everything you do like that's more expensive, blah, blah, blah. But something so I don't get so lost in this game. And it's a testament to how fun the game is that I didn't give up on it, because it's very easy to get lost. So I would say that would be one thing. I think the grenade thing for me, and maybe I'm just an idiot. Well, I am, but there are things in the game, whether you're talking the dodge button or whether you're talking you can plant a mine on the wall and detonate it or whatever. Like this, what you're seeing on screen where she throws the grenade to crack in the wall, that's very intuitive. But then when you're talking about needing to sort of bounce it over a ledge to get it to blow, so I think that is going to be a stopper for a lot of people, but maybe I'm totally wrong. And then, what was my other thing? I mean, look, man, I would like an R-rated version of it. I don't want mods. You
can't do that. Sorry.
No, not in China. Do it in America.
But the thing is, they can't even have the files, because if they try to post it online, that's all monitored, right?
Oh, they can't even make it over there. Okay,
so it's frustrating because sometimes I want to show them oh, watch this gameplay video if someone did, and it's like, yeah, YouTube's blocked here.
Oh my god. Okay.
And there's so much stuff, and that's why I have to instant message and take photos and stuff over DMs over instant messaging, because any site I ever want to show them, I can't. And if I want to sign up for their version of YouTube,
it's gonna
to repost a video, it's like, well, you need a Chinese ID number. So, well, I'm not a citizen. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Alex is awesome in the chat. Says Alex, meaning you, told me that Jody's voice actor is AI. Is that right?
Yes.
Excellent. That's great. Of course. But so then there will be there'll be an English version as well. Then you don't want to write all the dialogue yet.
Well, we don't want to record the dialogue, but yeah.
But it'll be AI though, because
it'll be an actual actress.
Oh, okay. I mean, I had no idea she was AI.
Mind, but I don't think it's gonna work out. So I'm looking around and seeing
who do I know
that.
Give me a hint. Give me a hint. Who do you have in mind?
If it's nobody that's prolific by any stretch.
Okay. But who is it?
If it's someone, I don't want to put them on blast like that.
Well, do they know about the game?
Yeah, I pitched it to them, but I don't think it's gonna work out.
Okay, well, then fuck them. Tell me. Come on.
No, because I have a personal relationship with this person.
Oh, okay, whatever. I was gonna call my friend Ariana Grande. I think she'd be great for it, but whatever.
I don't know. I saw her in Wicked. I feel like survival horror is not her bag. She's stick with dramas.
All right, she's got an Oscar coming her way, you know. But okay, so no, I guess that was just the other thing. I mean, I really hope you guys play test it. Please. I'm gonna be a very arrogant person and very rude, and I don't care because the game is always first for me. Okay, don't be. Here's my arrogant, annoying message from you for you.
I'm ready.
Don't be arrogant. Don't be egocentric. You've got something could be really fucking cool here, and allow yourself to accept the fact that you're going to need to get a lot of people who are missing blind spots that you don't see. Every game, every game out there has blind spots from the biggest to the smallest. And I would hate to see you guys miss those and ruin the chance at something that could be, you know, really fucking cool, man. Really fucking cool. So that would be my only other comment. I love it. I'm grateful you're making it. I'm looking forward to more. Was there anything else in the chat, Tech Protect, we want to get? Or anything else, Alex? Somebody was asking how they get to the Patreon. What's the Patreon for these guys?
Let me pull up the link for you.
You can post it in our Discord chat, and I'll put it in the YouTube chat. You need moderator status.
I'm just gonna DM it to you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you'll DM it to Tech Protect. That would be great.
I'll post it.
Also,
I also can you guys add a Winnie the Pooh costume?
Do you want me to go to jail?
Well, you're in America. What are they going to do? Come over here?
No, but they'll put the team away. Also,
and you can take over because that's what you want.
Then you own the company. There you go.
3, 4, 5. Hang on. Shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I'm also sending you Tech. Here's 10 keys for the game if you want to hand them out to anyone in the chat.
That's very kind, buddy. Thank you for that.
Sounds good. Jaffe, I think we do this as a giveaway for members.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it afterward because we got to organize it and stuff. But yeah, that's so wonderfully kind. It's excellent.
Can you add one more for me?
Yeah, sure.
And do you have a section on your Discord where if these guys get it and play it and they have comments, they can leave like feedback?
Yeah, I posted actually a spreadsheet where people just, because like I said, it's a pain in the ass to send information overseas.
Of course.
So I just have a Google Excel sheet, and it's like, just put your suggestions and bug reports here, and then I will export it as a PDF and then DM it to them.
God,
solid.
Or they can just come over here and
that's the plan.
Apply for asylum, and they can stay with Tech Protect.
If
I have a big house.
If they come over, then we probably will have the R-rated version.
Oh, so great. Are they nice? Are they nice to work with? What are they like?
I wish I read my text more often. Some days I'm just like, sometimes I'm just like, so you don't want to talk to me, or?
So what is that about? I mean, in the sense that what is your full-time gig? Because you're doing this kind of with these guys on the side, but are you also in game development in other ways, or this is just sort of a passion thing for you?
For this is a more of a passion thing. So like, for example, I went to PAX West last year with my wife.
Okay.
And it's like, it'd be cool if we had a booth at PAX, but we don't have the money for that.
How much does a booth at PAX cost?
A couple grand.
Fucking raise the money, dude. This game.
No. I'll do you one better. This is what we did. They gave me I had $1,000 budget.
Yeah.
I printed a shit ton of t-shirts with the logo on it.
Yep.
I stood outside the front door of PAX when people were going in. I had a sign, wishlist our game for a free shirt.
And
I did that for like 2 hours, handed out all my shirts. I got to enjoy the rest of my weekend.
Excellent. And did you get a lot of wish lists?
If you wanted a shirt, yeah. So at least 140 wish lists that day.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want a cheaper budget, talk to me after the stream, and we will get this show advertised on Jaffe's Twitter. Yeah. Over 70,000 followers.
Yeah, we have like 2 million Twitter impressions.
I think it'd be $70,000. I'm like, what?
No.
But don't worry, talk to later. Yeah. The bigger point, though, is go to your Patreon. I'll tell these guys, go to your these guys, get these motherfuckers. And I'm even thinking, where's the best place to push this game? Is it PAX? Because PAX is so competitive. Like, this is a fucking game you want to go out to, like, you know, you want to play into the PG-13 R-rated version of this, and you want your marketing to be, we hear you, gamers. I don't agree with a lot of these fucking grifter fuckers who say, because I don't believe what they're saying, but in this case, I would totally shill the fuck out of We hear you and we're making a game for gamers kind of thing. I would fucking do that shit. And yeah, Hente conventions or I think they're better
video awards.
Yeah, I think there are better places to go with this game than PAX.
You know what?
But,
we just had adult sex convention like last weekend, and I should have done a booth there. I didn't think about it.
Yeah. Go or horror conventions. Jonathan says, yeah, there's horror conventions every couple of weeks, man. That's great. It's a great idea. Anyway,
but this isn't my day job. During the day I work at TikTok.
Well, for now.
No, I'll still be there.
No, I know. I'm kidding. My understanding is what I saw last night, a headline that the government is like, oh, we're going to try to buy TikTok. I'm like, really? I don't think so.
Even if it goes away in America, since I live in Canada, it doesn't affect me.
Right. Good. That's good. All right. Well, excellent. Well, look, man, good luck. If we can do anything to help or get the word out, I'm a big fan. I love this thing. I want to see it do well. And, thank you for taking the time to talk to us about it. And Tech, you got the Patreon? We can put it up?
Yeah, I put the link in the YouTube chat.
You already put it up there?
Yeah, it's already out there.
Excellent. Okay, so fellas, if you like this, download it. We got codes we'll be giving away later in the show today, so you can give it a shot.
Maybe later we're gonna do a giveaway for members.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. All right, Alex, thanks, buddy. I appreciate your time. Thank you for talking about your game with us.
Yeah. Before I go, I just want to plug a couple things, if that's all right.
Do it, baby. Plug that shit.
If you guys like zombie stuff, the best zombie TV show I ever saw on Netflix, Black Summer, only 2 seasons. Wish there was more.
Wait, it's called Black Summer?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's all stress, no rest.
Is it in an American horror series created? When did this come out, man?
A couple of years back. They filmed it, I think, in Calgary.
Cool. All right. Excellent. Yeah, it's Black Summer on Netflix. Came out in 2019. It's sitting in an 85 Rotten Tomatoes. Matthew saw it. Machine XP saw it. They all think it's great. All right. Good to know. I will watch it.
Because I know like in Left 4 Dead, it's a lot more character driven, where this is every step of the way. They're just like, are we safe? No. Okay. Keep running. Are we safe now? No. Okay. Keep running. And they just never stop. It's awesome.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Sweet. And what else you got?
I do also recommend for a movie's independent film called Sam Was Here. It's my favorite movie of all time. When I saw it, I was like, this is a movie I wish I made.
Are you a movie maker?
Before all of this, I had my own like little film company, but I'm so bad at sales, I just give up.
What was it about? See, Sam Was Here. A door-to-door salesman questions his sanity when stranded in a deserted town and threatened by residents who mistake him for a killer. Okay, cool.
You can find it on YouTube. I also a game that I recommend is called Remember Places. You can get that on itch.io.
Remember Places game?
Yep. I recommend playing it twice, because if you play it once, it doesn't work. I also recommend the game called Beginner's Guide. It's made by the guy that made Stanley Parable. Those are 2 really, really good games I really like.
All right. Well, as a return favor, go play a game called While We Wait Here. If you like horror and indie horror, it's fucking the best. One of the top 3 games of last year. It's crazy. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and those are my recommendations. I hope people enjoy them. Also, shout out Vince and Cassie. That's pretty much it.
All right, man. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it, buddy.
No problem. We'll talk to you later.
Soon. All right, man. Well, there he goes. What do you think of our new best friend, Tech?
Sounds like a cool guy. I like him.
Yeah. I hope people give this. If you're watching this, I hope you guys, consider it. It's I think, like I said to Alex, the best thing about this game to me is there's just a sense of purity of what it wants to be. It's not trying to be some kind of artistic statement, as far as I can tell. It's not trying too hard to be anything other than just, it's a joyful game for your inner 14-year-old.
Yep, it's a gamer's game.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that means, because that almost sounds like maybe you're talking about something super hardcore or something real strategic. Or I think
it's TNA. TNA. It's hard. It's challenging. There's nuance. There's titties.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. I recommend it. So how do we want to? Yeah, Jonathan says he seems nice for a Chinese spy. Think about that, though. I mean, seriously, man. I'm always aware that every country has their propaganda, and every country is going to say shit that if you don't do some digging, you got to be careful with what you really believe, because a lot of stuff is horse shit. And America's no different. But you know, it's interesting that he was like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. And I've heard that from a number of people when I talk to that work with China. So as great as a lot of some of China's tech is, and their people, I'm sure, are great. I would be a little worried about that government for fucking sure. Absolutely. So how do we want to give away these codes? We have 10 codes.
So we are going to make a giveaways channel on the Discord. Links in the YouTube chat. If you are a member,
wait a minute. Jay Styles, wait. I didn't play Kingdom Come 1. He says Kingdom Come 1. If I don't like it, I'm blaming Jaffe and Tech. First off, I think Kingdom Come 1, it may not be on Game Pass anymore. I don't know if I have Game Pass, if you have it, but be aware of that. But beyond that, just be aware that Kingdom Come 1 I've never played, so I can't speak to it, but I am very much loving the second one. Bukaki says, give me one. Yeah, give the mods one. Certainly give Bukaki one, a code. Cantankerous, thank you, buddy. He says, more of this style of content. Well done. Well, thank you, buddy. Define this style of content. What do you mean? Kingdom Come is only $7 right now on PlayStation. Oh, well, fuck it. Yeah. But no, I haven't played it, so I couldn't tell you, but people say it's great. Godsponge says that, Godsponge, do you mean Kingdom Come 1, or do you mean, Killing Antidote is your favorite game of the last many years? I'm not sure which game you're referring to. Okay, so obviously Tech Protect's going to figure out a way to get you the codes if you want. I'll let you run with that then, man.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, talk to Tech. He'll tell you at the end of the show how to go about getting your code. And it was very nice of Alex to do that. Man, I just, I'm not in the business anymore, right? So I'm not sitting around acting like, it's like, well, Jeff, you just go in the business if you're so interested in helping out. I know I don't want to do that like that. I'm just saying I hear it and I'm like, oh my God, you guys, you're close. This could be really cool. Please, play test it, man. Where did it go? It was Awesome. Tatum says, I'm glad you told him to keep the ego out of it. I think they are leaving a lot of money on the table. This could be a 200 to 500K sold copies game, easy with some tweaks and marketing. I agree. You see it. It's almost like I'm just like, oh my God. And I don't even know who would do it. And I'm not saying they're looking for publishers, but Devolver wouldn't do it anymore. Like you need a real grindhouse kind of publisher that is who out there publishes these games that are kind of grindhousey, that are genuinely not like we're trying to be edgy, but we're still a pro business. You need like a real underground kind of group of people that have some connections that can help these guys if they want it. They're not saying they fucking want it. But 2E Realm says, I think devs are just overcompensating for the decades of objectification of women and prejudice in various studios. It would be nice if they just admitted a de-emphasis on looks for characters. I think it can and should go both ways, 2D. I agree with you. I think overcompensation, given how bad it has been for a lot of people and a lot of players in the business, 1,000 gajillion fucking percent. That even if it's like we have to put up with 10 years of maybe the writing's not as good as we want it to be, but you know what, we'll take the bloody nose because it has been unfair and it has been cruel. I think you have a very, very good point. And at the same time, I still support the fact that these guys just want to fucking make something and they do it and they don't give a shit. That's a good point. Bookster says maybe Blumhouse would look into it. I don't know if it's quote classy enough for Blumhouse. Like, I don't know if it's yeah, Tech does have a loud keyboard. I don't know what that means, Eric. Don't treat the public for noticing this as idiots. Wait, I don't understand. But don't treat the public. Oh, I see what you're saying, because they're noticing it. Yeah, I think it's really hard. I think if you are one of those groups that has been marginalized, I don't think you have or should have the energy to go, now, how do we take our message of please stop treating us like shit and package it up nicely for the people who have been treating us like shit, even if they haven't known it. I think in some ways that's the job of the allies of people of people who have been sort of suffering under that. But I understand. I absolutely understand what you're saying. And there is a point where it's like, not everybody who is pushing back are assholes. There's nuance, but the internet doesn't like nuance. So perp games. I've never heard of perp games. Let's look at that. What is that? Perp games. Moss. Moss is kind of a classy thing, but they're also doing that Gray Hill incident. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who a good publisher would be. But I don't even know if they want a publisher. They may be like, what are you talking about? Why would we want any publisher at all? But hell, they should reach out to Lilymo. I don't know. I'm just saying that I hope that they don't leave money on the table, because I think, and I don't want to oversell it, you guys may play it and not like it, but I think they have something cool here, something fun here, something a breath of fresh airish thing here. And I hope they do something with it. I hope it's a success for them. Okay. All right. Okay. I want to show you guys something. We're about to witness some history. Look at this. I'm in line less than 1 minute to get my EA Battlefield lab thing. I'm excited. EA, come on now. Okay, let me see. Tech Protect just sent me this. We are giving away 10 keys to the Killing Antidote on Steam. On Steam or on Discord? React to this message with the one emoji. Oh, I see. It's on Steam. You might want to change that to say for Steam. React with the one emoji if you're interested. Maybe make sure YouTube is linked. Okay. And then how are we doing it? Just a random thing? Tech Protect? Oh, hang on. Let me put you on the stream. How are we doing that?
So we have a new giveaway room in the Discord. I will make sure that it's up and running. There'll be a post in there. React with an emoji. And if your YouTube membership is linked to your Discord account, depending on your tier of membership, we're going to give you more tickets for the raffle. So non-members will be given 1 ticket if they react. Diet Soda Soldiers get 5 tickets. Cult of Calypso gets 10 tickets. And if you're a God of War member, you will get 40 tickets into the raffle to get one of these Steam keys. So increasing your odds.
That's all you have to do, because we don't want them to do any work.
Just react. Yeah, all you have to do is react to it.
And you're entered.
And by end of day tomorrow, I will run the raffle after checking all the emojis, checking your membership status, and we will get you those Steam keys.
Gotcha. PK says, as what's on screen right now, the EA bankruptcy countdown. I don't know. And I don't know when this, I don't think they've actually announced when you can play this yet. I don't think EA Labs is open yet, right? If you've got in, people aren't playing right now. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what it is, chat, is they're, going to say, hey, okay, if you're in, here's an invite going out for this weekend or something like that. Eric says, how do you feel that Kanye West is using AI to make music, basically having people record the song for him and putting his voice? I really don't care. As long as things are, I don't want people to be exploited. If people's work is being used to train AI, I want those people compensated, or those companies that own the IP compensated. But short of that, I'm not, you guys know me, I'm not one of these AI haters. I think it's goofy and stupid. And the fact that the woman in that game, that her voice is all AI, tells you all you need to know. Seriously, think about that for a minute. I'm playing the game, and I have no idea the voices in that game are AI generated, and I don't care. Right. And so this idea that, does it suck that people might lose their job? Yeah. But that's progress, and hopefully, we'll take care of each other as humans. But related specifically to this game, it's 2 guys making this, living together in an apartment. What do you want them to do? Go out and fucking, talk to CAA and William Morris, and what do you want them to do? I think it's great. Hey! my turn. You're now being redirected to the website. Let me take this off the screen to make sure it doesn't give any bad information or tell you, I don't know what they're going to show me. It says I'm being directed to the website. Nothing's happening right now. Yeah, shit's too expensive. Stop gatekeeping. All right. Okay. So it says Battlefield Labs, sign up now. Okay. I'm clicking it. We appreciate your patience. You will be placed in a queue. If you are not redirected, click on the link to the community playtesting. I was just in a queue. All right, sign in. Hang on. Let me just sign in real quick, you guys. I'm so scared if I breathe on it wrong, it's just gonna, I just don't want it to break. All right, come on. All right, pre-release feedback, user, sure, whatever. Yeah, I'll just click on everything. I'm not reading your fucking legal bullshit. Thanks for joining, helping us inspire. Before exploring the playtest portal, we need to get to know you a bit more. All right. Can I fill this out with you guys? You just sign up and they will contact you. At least that's what happened to me. Oh, fuck it. Probably the very nature of showing it's going to get me. I don't care. I mean, I'm not going to, fuck you. Okay. David Jaffe. What's your preferred name? Hey, there's my phone number. Don't call me or call me. I don't give a shit. I'm just not going to answer it. I never answer calls that are from numbers I don't know. Gender identity. Preferred pronouns. He, him. Oh no, there's GI. They asked for pronouns. What motivates you to play video games? In-game achievement. Sometimes. Personal achievement. No. Exploration. Yes. Multiplayer depends. Competition. Yes. Narrative. Yes. Independence. Sure. Action, creative freedom. If you had to choose, what do you like to play the most? I probably like to play games where I can explore a lot of action, probably. Which playtest interests you? Group, one-on-one, that, community, I don't know. Where do you want to play test? At home. EA playtesting regularly looks at current and new features. You may opt out. Would you participate? Yes, sure. Whatever, pal. Whatever, pal. We'll reach out. Select your response. Okay, I'm going to tell them where I live now. Where is it? United States. Okay. Where do you live in the United States? Remote playtest. Oh, I see. They want a state. Okay, California. California. Come on now. Goddamn right, one pump. Playtest available. Battlefield Labs. Okay, register your interest. Yeah, very interested, please. I'd like to. Congratulations, your registration for Battlefield Labs complete. We'll send them to you via email. Okay, so I guess now we'll just wait. I'm looking forward to it, man. I thought the trailer they put out yesterday was pretty fucking cool. So there we go. We're off to the goddamn races. We'll see if we get in. We'll see when they do something. All right, look at this. I'm kind of. Let's see. Let's see what we want to talk about. Hang on. Let's watch this Recfest trailer. I haven't seen this yet. This is Recfest. I loved the first Recfest. I thought the Recfest 2 trailer teaser that they showed was but this is a proper early announcement trailer. This is going to be available next month in March, and I will be playing it. I will be streaming it. I mean, unless it's a piece of shit, but boy, that was delightful, man. That was fucking delightful. The first one. It's just one of the best fun arcade racers ever. Here we go. Recfest 2 early announcement. In-game footage. Look at that.
The following content is intended for immature audiences only.
I mean, okay, that's whatever. That I mean, I'll be there day one, but that just kind of looks like the first one. But I love it. Yeah. Okay. Not a very good teaser. But it's fine. Okay. All right. There you go. Let's talk about. Oh, by the way, I want to show you this. I've not played this yet. This is out today not for free, but PlayStation Plus games have a couple games this month, of course. And I've never played this one, but I have my eye on it. Have you guys played Pac-Man World Repack? Is available now on PS Plus, and I don't know if it's something that I don't. Come on back now. I don't know if it's a good game. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a very simple, but nothing you think about too much. Beat it in 4 or 5 hours. Have you guys played this fucking thing? Because this is out right now. So if you have PS Plus, think about it. But this is out right now. You think this game looks bad? I mean, I think the Metacritic on this is pretty good. Hang on. Tony, God damn it, Tech Protect. Can you check the Metacritic on Pac-Man World Repack?
Will do. I was eating sushi. You caught me eating sushi.
Cammy over on Twitch. Hey, buddy. They say I played the PS1 version. It was fun. MK Ness says I grew up with this game. It's really simple and fun, right? And this is the remake. It's a good game. I love it in Repack. I love Pac-Man, says Jarvie. PK says it's pretty good. Okay.
71 on Metacritic.
That's pretty good for a game like this. I'm down. I'll give it a play. I want to say Scott Rogers may have worked on Pac-Man World. Scott Rogers worked on God of War with us, and he was the lead designer or one of the key designers on Maximo for PS2 before he joined us in Santa Monica. And then he's kind of gone on to a pretty big career in board game design. He's designed the Alien game and ray guns and rocket ships. And if you're into the board games, you might know some of his stuff. So, all right, well, that's out today and available today. If you got the PS Plus, I want to give that a bit of a play. David Pac-Man is the best Pac-Man. Yeah, I understand. All right, what do we want to watch? What do we want to talk about? Let's see. We've got a couple things lined up. Let's look. I'll save the weird stuff for a little bit later in the show. But for now, let's watch a little bit of this interview with Shuhei. Let's see. Let's look at a topic. This was his Min-Max interview. Where did it go? The scariest moment from PlayStation's competition. Let's see what he's got to say about that. Let's see what his take is on that.
Greg, I am so happy this show, the kind of funny shows, happened before the announcement of Switch 2 announcement, because I thought the Switch 2 announcement could have been larger.
Okay, that's not the one I want. I want. Where'd it go? The scariest moment from PlayStation's competition.
Throughout your time at PlayStation, what do you think was the biggest? What was the scariest moment? Maybe from competition, when something dropped. What was the moment where you felt the most like, oh, we might be screwed here?
The entire career, or what period?
Yeah. I suppose the entire career. Was there ever just some announcement where you thought, "Oh my God, we're dead" compared to this?
Well, of course, the Xbox 360 launching year before was very, very scary. Yeah, very scary. And the announcement. The biggest shock I had from the announcement from the competition was Nintendo's announcement of 3DS. Not about the hardware. The one announcement they made that the Monster Hunter 4 is going to come out on 3DS exclusively.
Oof. And that's how you learn.
And they dropped the $100 price right after the launch. So after launch, both Nintendo 3DS and Vita were $250, right? But they dropped $100. I was like, oh my god! And announced the biggest game on PSP was Monster Hunter, right?
Yeah.
And that game is gonna come out on Nintendo 3DS exclusively, and I was like, oh, that was the biggest shock.
It's payback for Final Fantasy VII, I suppose.
Well, and I understand from publisher standpoint, they do not want one company dominant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want competition among the platforms, so that everybody keeps being honest and try harder, right?
Yeah.
So that might be one of the thinking behind these decisions when third-party companies make such kind of decision.
Of course, yeah. So
very hard.
So it's interesting to me because I remember, and by the way, Tech, I just sent you a note on the Discord. I remember I was just so fucking wrong, dude. I remember seeing the PSP, hang on, at Sony before it had launched. And I remember going, there is no fucking way in the world that the 3DS, or whatever it was called, it wasn't the 3DS, it was the DS. I was just like, there's no way in the world that this thing, I was like, PSP is going to eat its fucking lunch. Cause we were like playing Ridge Racer in the office on the thing. I think it was Ridge Racer. And then suddenly I'm looking at some shit on the DS, and I mean, my God, man, good God, that thing, it just blew up. I missed it. I would have been a terrible executive for that. I wouldn't have seen it coming, and I didn't see it coming. I'm like, there's no way they're going to do. Yeah, Rob says I worked at a game store when the DS came out. I had the same feeling. And I guess, PK says it was Nintendogs that did it. I think PlayStation probably overestimated the assumption that people wanted an on-the-go system to play big games. And Nintendo was like, no, this is for handheld. And, people are walking around, with it, and that demands a certain kind of experience. And Sony really, from my recollection, didn't really look at it that way. So this is a topic, the lack of leadership accountability when games fail. I think that's an interesting question. Let's see what he says.
It's got to be brutal. And I'm not pointing at you in particular with this, but just in general, I'm still just, I don't know, confused by the game industry at times when a game development team does a great job, releases a great game, it doesn't perform well to sales expectations, and then the development team loses their jobs. On the great scale of who's working their asses off the hardest to make this game great, the developers, it's a landslide. Situations like a Concord or Tango with Hi-Fi Rush on the Microsoft side. I mean, it's all over the place. But what's going on the inside? Why aren't more executives or other people in the teams taking those hits other than the developers who, oftentimes release a solid game? They do their job.
Well, when the team release a really good quality game, I hope the team gets another chance, right?
Yeah.
Because having creating and developing a very productive, great, great team is so hard. It takes years, for any developer to develop and grow the team to become able to release a high quality game. So it's not just easy, one studio shut down and there's another studio. It's not like that. You cannot just gather, talented people to make a new team. It doesn't work, right? The chemistry of the team, and even, the process and approach would be different, etc. So, people really like to work together when things go well, and create the core of the team to grow the team, and it's a long-term process.
Yeah.
So I really hope that publishers are able to maintain the, even though sometimes,
Not
scale
really
back
answering,
size
is he?
of the team a little bit after the game doesn't perform, because the new project doesn't require lots of people, right? And it's almost counterproductive to have too many people in the team, when you start a new project. But be able to sustain the team and give them another chance. So it's really sad when a shutdown happened after the team released a really high quality, great game.
Yeah.
But somehow didn't,
Wait,
find
yeah,
the audience.
please push back.
Can you think of examples where the executives had to take the hit?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
In which way?
If a game
get fired, or
yeah, or take a huge pay cut at least.
I think these things wouldn't make a news when the studio executive moved to another position or leaves. Well, actually, that news makes a news, oftentimes as well, right?
Yeah, they got there. People shifting around. I mean, Iwata taking the salary cut with the 3DS, I think when that launched was kind of the most newsy example of that, I think.
After, did he?
When it launched and underperformed, yeah, he cut his salary by quite a bit.
Oh, really? I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then he dropped the price by $100 and made it a huge success.
Right. Yeah, it's a wild ride that that system had.
What a man.
Yeah. Do you feel like you learned anything from Iwata?
I mean, that's why Shu is like, your show's very different, Jaffe. Because I would have kept chasing that. Because basically it's, come on. I don't think he's in anybody's pocket, but I think he's just, maybe the answer is no. We didn't lose executives when that happened. And I do think a lot of what has happened in this particular climate, again, and what we don't know is, I don't know who the executives at EA, for example, in charge of Dragon Age were, but and I don't want to see anybody get fired, but it would be unfortunate if all the people who work their asses off, lost their jobs. And whatever you think of that game, the person that was saying yes, no, the buck stops with that individual. And it would be unfortunate if that person, if people are going to get fired, and people did get fired, wasn't in the mix of those people, because ultimately that person's responsibility was to say, you guys are going too far. One Pump says, did he say about coming on your show? Yeah, I asked him, and he basically said, maybe not right now. I know I'm doing the rounds and stuff, but your show is I forget the terms. I read it to the chat earlier, but it's like, it's a unique show comparatively speaking. And what I know he's saying is, if I come on your show, Jaffe, you're not going to stop with where this guy from MinMax stopped. I forget this guy's name. You would keep pushing, and why would I subject myself to that? And he's not wrong. I want to know, but he don't want to answer. But I'm glad this guy asked the question, though. Absolutely. Ben Hansen, that's the guy's name, not the Mbop guy. How you get it? Because it's the same. Okay. Choosing which games to greenlight. That sounds interesting. Let's watch that.
No, I mean, how do you do that? How do you choose which project to greenlight when a talented studio like Sucker Punch is pitching several ideas that sound cool? What do you do?
Well, one great example that's very interesting was when Guerrilla Games were working on new IP after Killzone. Yeah, they had narrowed down, so they gathered the ideas from the whole studios. They did very good thing and created the document stating what is the goal, what the pitch should include, Guerrilla Games aspire to do these kind of games, or we are good at these things, and it has to be like a AAA or whatever requirement to create the kind of frame of reference for anyone to pitch. So not random ideas come in.
Right.
And so they gather the idea from the entire studios, and they select a few to develop further in terms of concept, and they narrow it down to 2 concepts. And they gave the actual resource, development resource, and spent a few months to develop prototype for these 2 projects. And we, under our studio, we used to get together as whole studios twice a year during the GDC week and right after E3, the same week of E3. So twice a year, I set up the opportunity for studios to get together and learn from each other, show things. And,
I will say that was always a great deal of fun when it was where all the studios got together and saw what everybody was working on. That was so much fun because it was all the behind closed door stuff that you're not going to see in the press. I did like those times. That was fun.
One meeting after E3, Guerrilla Games, Harman presented 2 concepts and prototypes and asked everyone from our studios there to vote for which one, Guerrilla Games should move forward. And Horizon got the vote. So it was decided. It was really fun the way they managed it.
Yeah. What is the right level of influence for?
Interesting. So this is a great interview. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, check it out on MinMax over there. I've never had any beef with this Ben Hansen guy. Some of his co-hosts I think are little pricks, but this guy seems like a decent chap. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry. Anthony, let's bring on Anthony real quick, see what he wants to talk about. Then we're going to get to some other news topics. Anthony, what's going on, buddy? It's Jaffe. Anthony, are you there? All right. Well, in the meantime, I don't know if he's there or not, but we'll bring up some other stories while we're waiting. You know what pisses me off? I want to get back to being angry for a minute, if I may, if you don't mind. You guys mind? Can I get back to being angry just for a brief moment? Okay. Here's what I wanted to tell you. So I posted this thing yesterday about, I just want to talk about, how annoyed I am by a lot of these gamers. Anthony, are you there? Do you want to come on the show or what's going on, buddy? I don't know. I want to talk about how annoyed I am at some of these gamers. I try my best to be communicative, but I got really annoyed yesterday and I made a video about the Dragon Age writers that have been hired at Sucker Punch, and people were like, "Oh, here we go, it's a piece of shit." Blah, blah. And we talked about it on the show, and Anthony's in the K-hole, and I said, "Look, man, the Dragon Age was written by 9 people. 2 of them have now been hired at Sucker Punch to work on Ghost of Yodi. Before that, they were part of a team that worked on Veilguard and Anthem and Andromeda, right? And whatever you think of those games, they were part of a team, bigger team. And I'm not saying that the people who are worried that now Ghost of Yodi is going to be, quote, woke because those writers are there, are right or wrong. But my point was, I think these guys have earned, meaning Sucker Punch, they've earned credit in the bank with, they've probably, if they did hire people from games you don't like, have some faith that these guys know how to hire. And there's a lot of people who work on a team, and a lot of people who work with writing on a team, and they may not be the ones that wrote the shit you didn't like. They may have been the ones that came up with the scenario design of that game, which was not bad at all. Or they may have been ones that wrote a character that was good. I forget the guy's name, but he was like the necromancer. The old necromancer was pretty cool and really fun, right? So, that's all I was saying is like, could you guys just take a break from your obsession with throwing any and everybody under the bus and at least allow a company that has mostly done nothing disappoint gamers over the decades they've been around. Could you at least allow them to work a little bit? And then sure, if they shit the bed, they shit the bed. And I was so baffled by the response from some of these people. And it kind of goes back to that debate channel we were on a couple of weeks ago. I think it was WIC TV, where it was just kind of like, I don't know who it is that they need. I don't know who it is that they need to hear from at any given day to go, oh, okay, maybe this person is like, he's got a point, right? It's not that no one is not allowing them to work, Eric. It's that you guys are being assholes to these people. Jonah says it's kind of hard to not get annoyed that people who have tanked a beloved studio getting hired. Again, what data do you have that 2 out of 300 people and 2 out of a team of 9 were the ones that did something that tanked it? That's all I'm saying. And do you really think that the hiring at Sucker Punch has historically been so poor that they don't know what their game is, and they don't know how to hire people that will create the product in the way they want? Jose says the problem is that if Yodi fails, they will be right, like with Veilguard and Star Wars. No, there's no problem then. They're not wrong to say, oh, I hope those guys who are hired there are not the ones that wrote some of the shit I didn't like. That's sure, fine. Leave it at that. It's more of the way that they are expressing themselves about these people. And it's just, it's just kind of, I think it's poor form. I think it's, I think it's rude. I think it's ignorant. And then one guy, I'm looking for the quote. One guy said this, which I just thought totally is such a great example of what I'm talking about, where what is wrong with just going, there are people who are working in the field, who have worked in the field, and they know more than you do. I don't know about their jobs. This guy's response was, somebody was backing me up and saying, they're not even the lead writers that got hired. And this guy, Mr. Turbo, says, and they clearly hired them because of the same ideology. I bet there are more bad writers there. And I'm like, they clearly hired them. So Sucker Punch went out and said, we want to hire writers that do an ideology. Like, I mean, what's clear about it, Mr. Turbo? They clearly hired them because of the same ideology. These people don't know anything. I don't know why they were hired. Like I said yesterday, it could very much have been Ghost of Yodi's core story has been written for a while. They're probably going in now and saying, hey, we got to flesh out the NPC dialogue. These guys, nobody complained for the most part about the NPCs populating the towns in Dragon Age. Did they know? Well, let's get those, it's like they just don't really care. And I get it. But like I said at the top of the show, I'm done not pushing back on these people. I'm tired of that narrative being allowed to simmer and cook on the stove without anybody at least attempting to come in and point that there could be a different thing going on. But all of these fuckers are so convinced that they just know. That's just how it happens. I had one guy I was on this debate show with a couple of weeks ago who's like, well, the reason the games today are remasters is because everybody that gets hired, he was serious what he said. He was serious. He said, the reason they're making all these remasters is that everybody who works at these companies now are DEI hires and they don't have a lot of experience. And so it's easier to make remasters and remakes. And that's why they're greenlighting them. So the DEI people can make something they can actually ship. And I'm like, dude, you are living in a fucking fantasy world that you have just made shit up. And you are now selling it on the internet as fact. And the tragic part is people are fucking believing them. And I'm just like, I'm not saying that there's not a world, there's not a studio, there's not a place where maybe that could have occurred, but chances are that's not what's going on. Benjamin says that conversation actively made me dumber. It was crazy, man. These guys come onto a debate show, and I'm sorry to be a dick. I enjoyed being on that show. I like Witch TV. He seems like a decent fella. Some of the people on there were decent, but I'm just like, holy shit, man, are you serious? Do you really like this? This is, you think you're making an argument in good faith? Man, I'll tell you something. I'm just done. I'm done putting up with it. Here's the difference. This one guy wrote me. He said this. He says, Jaffe, as soon as you, he says, Jaffe, it happened before. Your generation was more than happy to stick it to the old religious right-wingers who pearl clutched at any drop of blood or view of a side boob. They had a moral standard they wanted to impose, and you revolted. If hypothetically every mainstream studio were taken over by Christian fundamentalists and every game pushed an overt Christian message, gamers would probably revolt and boycott. Why would it be any different for a progressive message? And my answer to that is, I stood in front of the theater when the religious right was trying to get Martin Scorsese's Passion of the Christ kicked out of Alabama movie theaters, right? If you want to take my games away or my art away or prevent what I want from being made, that's very different. That's what we were fighting against, with a lot of these fucking people and the ratings board for lyrics and music and Tippergore and all that. That's what that was about. This is not about that. We just had a guy on the show that's making a game where you can have Resident Evil 2 gameplay with a lady running around in ripped panties and you can barely have a bra on. No one's taking those games away from you. Oh, The Last Temptation of Christ, right? What's the Passion of the Christ? That's Mel Gibson. So it's a little different. Simply existing and being acknowledged is not being pushed, says Benjamin. Right. That's true too. So I don't know what to do with this anger. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know where to put it. I don't know how to express it other than just talk about it on the show. But I've had it. And here's something else. Can I tell you something else I'm mad about? Tech, are people tired of me talking about what I'm mad about, or should I go ahead?
They seem involved. They seem they're chilling.
I'm not going to. This guy writes me today. This guy writes me today, or puts on Twitter. He's responding to. I'll just show you the tweet. This guy, I'm going to have him. Thomas Mailer. He's going to come on the show, do an interview. He is one of the creative directors at Moon Studios. The Ori games, and one of my favorite games from last year in early access, No Rest for the Wicked. It's excellent. And he was talking about my take on Metroid, and then we got to talking, and it's like, hey, let's have you on the show, right? So somebody comes on and responds to this. His name is Diego somebody. I don't know. I'll show it to you. Okay. Is this it? Here we go. And again, I'm not showing it to you so you go after. Please don't do that ever. I don't need anybody fighting my battles. Leave the guy alone. But he says Jaffe's Fall of Grace should be studied. From a great director and designer from the 90s to a shameless grifter that doesn't understand games anymore. It's truly sad because some time ago he was the GOAT for me. And then I responded, but I'm like, what is the deal with these people? Like I said, what grace did I fall from? I'm happier today than I've been my whole life. Are you suggesting because I have different views on things than you, I am somehow a broken human? That is for sure a take, and I respect your right to have it, but it's confounding. Why, like, what happens with these people where I love doing YouTube. I love making videos. I love talking about games. I love doing this show. And somehow I'm supposed to keep doing that. That's always pissed me off. It's like, aren't we supposed to be the country? Aren't we supposed to be the generation and the younger generation of like, follow your dreams, follow your passion? And I just can't get it down people's fucking throats. I can't get them to understand that I like this. I love this. I want to get better at this. Why can't I do that? Why is this a fall from grace? It really pissed me off, obviously. I don't like it. I don't like these people one goddamn bit. They're on my nerves. They're on my last nerve. Let's watch a video called What Should the Next Twisted Metal Look Like? Okay, good, Jaffe. Good segue. Fuck you. Here we go. Share this tab. Let's check it out. And again, if you want to call in, Anthony, let's see if Anthony's still here. Anthony, are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. Let's bring you on. What do you want to talk about, man? We'll do the.
Okay, I have no idea why you couldn't hear me before, but I just want to say that I have no idea why Shu won't do an interview with you.
Oh, I do. I get it. I totally get it.
No, but it's bullshit.
That's a different thing. That's a different thing. It being bullshit and your opinion of it is bullshit is one thing, but you do understand why he won't do it, right?
Well, I sort of, but has he been informed to a degree that he would know not to do it? Like, is that
No,
a
I
thing
just
that has happened?
he's watched my shit. He knows my shit. He knows that I'm gonna ask him stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna ask him stuff to make him uncomfortable, but I don't want to have him on here if I can't push. The min max guy did a good follow-up question and then he dropped it because it was clear that Shu wasn't going to answer it. And
Right.
my response would have been, okay, it's clear you don't want to answer that question, Shu, but let's nibble around the edges of it at least, because the audience is seeing a lot of gamer developers get fired. And the fact of the matter is that, the buck needs to stop with a lot of other people, and we never hear about that. And you can say you don't want to answer that, and that's fine. But can we at least talk about, do you think it would be right to let go of executives that have said yes to projects like Concord, for example? Concord, whatever you thought of Concord, there were a lot of yeses and checks signed outside of the people actually doing the work, making the game. And those people should probably be held accountable as well. And I would bring that up. And I think Shu knows I would bring that up. And she's like, I don't want to fucking get in the middle of that. And I don't blame him, by the way. Why would he? It's not in his best interest. It's in my best interest if he talks about that. And it's
No,
in the
but I
audience
think
interest,
I
but
think it's in the game. It's in the gamer's best interest if he talks about it, though.
No, it's not. Why? Why do they need? Why does it matter? They don't care.
Well, of course, all of your followers care about the intricacies of gaming. They may not like it. They may not like the way the cake is made behind the scenes.
Yep.
Or whatever, but they're all interested in what goes on. And
I'm not saying they wouldn't like it and I wouldn't like it, but Shu is not going to basically wherever he goes next sell more video games because he answered that on my show. So why would he put himself in a position of possibly offending or running afoul of people at Sony by going, why did you fucking throw me under the bus? That I should have been fired for Concord and I wasn't. Why would he do that? I would love him to do it. I would love him to do it. It would make great content and it would also be true, but.
Well, then he's not the person that I always thought he was. If he can't answer basic questions,
okay, come on,
about
that's not
things
true.
like this.
So you're telling me if you, as a guy who worked with Prince, the musician, for 20 plus years, if you sat down with a guitar magazine and they said, how many times a week did you see did you see Prince doing meth or doing whatever drug it was that he was out?
Come on, man, this is different.
It's not different because it's different in the sense that it's more inflammatory, but you're basically being asked to throw someone that is good for your pocketbook. I don't know why you have a pocketbook, Anthony. What's wrong with you? Good for your pocketbook and a person who you probably consider a friend and or mentor or at least colleague under the bus.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
I'll tell you, well, just to give an example to your point, I'll tell you that we had Dave Grohl come down because Dave Grohl wanted to play drums during a live show we were doing.
With Prince.
Right. And Dave Grohl played for exactly 25 seconds and Prince cut the whole thing off and said, no, you're not good enough.
Okay.
And that was it. And Dave Grohl walked out.
Okay. But and that's a great story I had never heard before, and I'm glad you're telling it. Was Grohl mad?
He was surprised.
I mean, he's not really a drummer, right? Well, he was. He was Nirvana's drummer.
No, he's Nirvana's drummer. Yeah, he's definitely a drummer. He did all the Foo Fighters drumming.
Right.
He wrote it all, but yeah. He was upset.
Right, but how? I think that's a neat story, but why is it relating to this story, Anthony?
Well, because you're saying, well, you wouldn't want to say a Prince was doing meth, and which is different than saying that, well, Prince was just cutting people off at the knees. and
Okay,
telling him you're not good enough.
Okay, but
goodbye.
Did you ever tell that story publicly when Prince was alive and you were working with him?
No, I don't think so.
So maybe it's the same thing. Maybe the meth thing is a little inflammatory, but it would be like, Shu, basically cutting off someone at the knees just to give me an exclusive soundbite. Come on. I mean, that's not, I wouldn't recommend he do that, even if he is not working for Sony.
You're a good interviewer, though.
It's not like a good interviewer, but
it's not like you're some chump that only gets like 10,000 views or something like that. I mean, you're a good interviewer. Of course, he should want to. I believe he should want to answer harder questions in his own way. And Shu's a smart enough guy to get out of whatever tomfoolery you're saying to him.
The difference is
right?
I don't care. And clearly a lot of these other people do. So the guy at Min Max, it's not like the guy at Min Max didn't realize Shu was ducking the question. He asked it, he pressed, and he moved on. And for me, I don't care if Shu never comes. I mean, I like Shu personally a great deal, but I don't care. I would keep pressing until I at least got him to say, I don't want to answer that. And that would be at least an answer.
Don't you think that maybe for your own channel's benefit that you should come a little bit forward on things and get people on your channel?
Come a little bit, I don't know what that means. Come a little bit forward on things?
Yeah, come a little bit forward instead of like lashing back at people every time they don't have the answer that you want. Maybe you could give a more nuanced answer.
But it's not
more nuanced question.
But
he's talking about Vera Dark. That's his reference.
No, I'm not talking about Vera Dark.
Jappy is fairly nuanced in most of his takes. And he'll explain.
No, I know. And Tech Protect had my back. We were in another channel, and we were in a fight channel, and Tech Protect said Anthony's from my community. He is exactly who he says he is, and so I appreciate
don't
Tony.
fuck with Anthony. Anyways.
Okay, so I'm missing the point then.
So the point is, if you could, rather than if you asked him a question he didn't want to answer, rather than holding him down and nailing him down to a cross to answer the question, if you could give a more roundabout question that would give a similar answer, but maybe not the exact one you want.
Yeah, and I've done that, and that's why I said we would kind of nibble around the edges of the question to ultimately get to I'm not answering that. But yes, I would do that. I wouldn't be an asshole to somebody. But at the same time, I think people know me, and I'm not going. It is not in Shu's best interest or anyone's best interest to come on this show for an interview unless they really just want to talk and be honest and real. I am not interested. I don't have the talent, the skill, the desire to ever be somebody that just does interviews with softball questions.
You're wrong. You're wrong about the talent thing.
I don't have the desire to get the talent to do that, is what I'm saying.
You have the talent, though.
Okay, well, I don't want to use it then.
Okay. Then that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But you have the talent to get answers to questions and then get people on.
7:40 p.m. Anthony, we're gonna go on to the next thing. Sorry, Anthony, but we're at that time.
But I hear you, Anthony, and I do love doing interviews. So if people want to come on and share stuff, and I don't want them to tell me where the bodies are buried necessarily, but I do want to talk about them being bodies. And if they don't, yeah, there's a lot of shows they can go on to get a lot better views than ours. So, but Anthony, I love you, buddy. Good to talk to you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, you too, man.
All right, there he goes off into the evening. Okay. He's not hammered, you guys. First off, even if he was hammered, so what? Everybody's got their shit they got to deal with. But he's not hammered. The guy had a bunch of dental work done. He slurs sometimes. Leave him alone. He's a smart guy. Provided tons of entertainment for tons of people for a very long time. Leave him a motherfucker alone. Does Shu play drums? Would Prince be impressed? Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Okay. Let me see what I got lined up. we have done 3 streams today, guys. We did 3 goddamn streams. So here's what I'm going to do. I do got some stuff I want to show you, but I'm going to save it, man. I'm going to save it. So let's do some free chat for a little bit. I'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, and then we'll wrap it up. But I'm here if you want to call in. I'm here if you want to ask questions, but I have no more topics on the docket, so it is your show at this point. What do you want to talk about? Jaffe, how do you heal your ship in Starfield? I have no clue.
You take it to the dock when you land on a planet, and if it's a planet that has a city, you talk to the guy who's at the dock called the space hangar guy or some shit.
And he'll take care of it?
Yeah, it's just like, do my repairs. And it's like, it costs you this credits. It's like, okay, go for it.
Okay. There you go. There you go. But yeah, I like Starfield. I played a little bit of the DLC Shattered Space. I thought it was fine. It's about what catches your attention and holds it, and it really just wasn't doing it for me. But I very much enjoyed it a great deal. So, all right. So, I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'll play some. I'm trying to think. Do I want to play some more Kingdom Come tonight? Yeah, Anthony says yes. So maybe what I'll do is I did see that, Alex. Monster Hunter open beta this Thursday. I probably won't. I've got too many things I'm playing. Chelsea says your thoughts on closing DOE? What's DOE? Dragon Age or
the Department of Education is planned to be closed soon, and they're making like plans on where to separate the powers of that industry or that part of the government. Yeah, Trump wants to close it down. So, well,
doesn't he have to sort of get congressional?
We thought so, and then he's like, "Hey, no one's getting funding for 90 days. Fuck you." So, I mean, hey.
It says he wants Palestinians out of Gaza, USA to seize land. Here's what I'll say, man. At this point, like I've said, if you want to get into politics, look, man, a lot of people, for whatever reason, who vote for people like Trump and who voted for Trump come to this channel, and that's fine. You have a right to vote for whoever you want to vote for, but I didn't vote for him ever. I never would. I think he's a nightmare. I think what's happening right now is with Elon Musk and the Treasury. But here's what I'll also say. I don't know. I don't know how much is actually going to occur, how much of it's hyperbole, how much of it's PR propaganda on one side or the other. But assuming what we're hearing is true, I think you guys who voted him in, I hope you know something I don't know. Because to me, it sounds pretty bad. Thanks for the super chat. He says, "What do you think about the tariff shit?" I mean, if it turns out that Trump was doing bargaining and he never intended to implement the tariffs, and he was like, "I'm not going to blink," and you guys blinked or whatever, cool. That's neat that he could pull that shit off. If he did, but I honestly don't even know where that stands. I've heard a couple of different things. I don't think he's a very smart. Whatever. I don't. What's it going to do? It's going to convince you to vote for him, not vote for him. Look, I hope. Let's put it this way: he's the president right now. I hope you guys who voted him in and think he's going to make the world better are right. I will be very surprised, but I hope you're right. Jaffe, have you spoken on Sony's big games as a service push? According to Jason Schreier, have been shut down? No, I mean not really. I mean, I've talked about it in the sense that I get why they would want to go games as a service and have that. They're not doing games as a service. They have to do something. But clearly, they have struggled and stumbled a little bit. But they had the 3rd best-selling game of last year, with what is in essence a game as a service game with Helldivers 2. MLB The Show kind of has some game as a service elements. So I don't think you can play in that space at the level they're playing in without having at least 1 or 2 very successful games as a service. And I don't think it was wrong to spaghetti method it. I think what was wrong was for them to take their big budget AAA mentality and say, let's spaghetti method it at that level. They should have been putting out a bunch of early access shit on PlayStation to see what stuck, and then threw money at that and killed the stuff that didn't. And I think they'll eventually learn that, because that's the only way to do it. Look at Ubisoft, man. Look at X Defiant. They had that roller dome game or whatever it was, like roller derby game. They had that skyscraper game, and they had one other free-to-play game. None of them have hit. But they've got Rainbow Six, and they've got For Honor that's still going strong, right? So, I think the idea of spending a lot of money on that shit is dumb, and hopefully they will get their heads around that sooner than later. But yeah, I think you have to be in that space to some extent. Film Gamer X, you old Richie Rich. How rich can you get? You're never going to know till you met this young boy, Richie Rich. Well, Film Gamer X is his name. Film Gamer X has now dropped 5 gift memberships. I don't know why you guys can't be like your brother, Film Gamer X. Thank you, buddy. Roger Lacombe, Ivan Fox Jupy, Jarvie Rocks, and Joey Honreich have walked away with a gift membership. I appreciate that. We do a lot of game streams for members only, or members only chat, movie night. We did Royal Rumble over the weekend. Thank you for that, Film Gamer X. Very, very generous. And also Roger Lacombe and Joey Hornreich. I don't know if I like you. I don't know if you hate watch, but I do say I tip my hat to you for basically using your real name on the internet. I can't stand. I'm getting to the point where it's like, the anonymity of the internet has its place and has its pros and cons, but I'll tell you something. It's nice when people have the guts to fucking use their real name and stand behind what they say. So welcome. Good to see all you guys. Jaffe, it seems like a mistake to push for 12 studios to make them, and they probably need to be free to play to compete. Yeah, I agree. I think that is absolutely clear as day when it comes to Concord. But I do think that it is a spaghetti world when it comes to that shit. No one's really cracked the nut and said, we know exactly how to do this in a way that's going to be a hit. And in that, you got to try stuff. And I think if they were going to try it at an inexpensive level, like a farm league thing, that's what they should have been doing. And hopefully they'll get to that. Tech, what's up?
Was that a dig at me? Because I don't use my real name. I'm anonymous.
No, you're sensitive too. I wasn't even talking about you. I'm saying that there's a lot of people online that will be all about free speech and saying what they want, and that's great. And they have the right. And I understand why some people need to hide behind a shield of anonymity. But at the same time, a lot of people don't, and they just do.
You're talking about like the grifters.
Not just the grifters, but a lot of the insulters and people who are out there just being dicks to other people. And it's like, well, why don't you use your real name? That's all. I'm just saying, whenever I see somebody doing it, like those two fine gentlemen, I tip my hat to them, because, I think there's, we've gotten real nasty and bitchy and mean because of anonymity.
Hell yeah. Couldn't be me though. You'll find my Pornhub account. So that'd be.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't need to see it. I hear about it.
My Pornhub is under my real name though. You guys ever find my real name?
No, okay. Yeah, exactly. Benjamin Udden says, I'll be right back. Got to draw a shitty cartoon mascot and come back to harass you under the name Dr. No Nonsense or whatever. Some of those, man. Some of those, I don't even get some of these fucking little dumb icons they use, but whatever. But no, somebody in the chat was saying that Trump's just trying to see what he can get away with. Again, we shouldn't, in my opinion, I don't think we should have a president whose job and goal and passion is things he can get away with. I think his job should be, how can I serve the people who have hired me and put me in this role and who are basically my boss? But sure, whatever. Again, man, I am very curious. I'm curious what a lot of these voters think about it right now. And maybe they're like, I don't know where to hear from them, but if you voted, here's what I'll say. If you voted for Donald Trump, How are you feeling about his performance right now? Are you like, hey, it's early, it's a rough launch, give him time? Or are you feeling, oh, I made a mistake? Or are you feeling, what are you talking about, Jaffe? He's doing a great job. I would be curious, if you were a Trump voter, what you think about his performance so far. Alex, stop talking about the movie Companion. God, I'll go see it, I promise. He says, Jaffe, in the movie Companion, they had sex with a robot human. Is that even possible? Sure, of course it's possible. In the future, could it impact the world negatively in the way that a re-education of real human sex? Of course, it will. It absolutely will. And I will see the movie. It does look pretty good. Gravedigger says he's using tariffs as legit. God damn it. Gravedigger says Trump is using tariffs as leverage for concessions, it seems. I voted and I feel good so far. Okay, cool. There you go. And you're okay with the Trump thing, and the Treasury, and you're okay with that. Let me ask you about that one. That one's okay for you? Benjamin says Elon Musk is an unelected dweeb. He's rummaging through our data, and I haven't heard one word from the her emails crowd. Yeah. MK Ness, I have no idea. MK Ness says, do you think Trump's end game is to eliminate the income tax? I mean, you know what? I'm not smart enough to really know. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why Elon Musk is being given the access he's being given. I'm a little disturbed by the fact that Elon Musk donated $300 million to his campaign, and suddenly he has the keys to the Treasury Department. I assume that would be concerning, but it may not be to some people. And again, I'm just going off headlines because I'm trying to only really look when something big comes up. But check it out. Like, is this a valid headline? Palestinians out of Gaza, says Trump. USA to seize land. Pentagon will enforce. We will own it. I mean, you know, in some ways, you could say he's basically doing what a lot of people have said for many years about this, which is the only way to really get peace in the Middle East is to be horrible people for a while, bomb it into a parking lot and rebuild it into a capitalist paradise. And then people, as everywhere else that capitalism comes to, will go, hey, it's nice to be able to afford shit when capitalism isn't super duper corrupt, right? I mean, you know, maybe he's just doing the loud part, the silent part out loud, not saying it, but doing it, because I've heard a lot of people offer that up. I've offered it up, not as a real solution, but kind of going, you're never going to get people to agree in this situation. It's too deep seated. People have their own view of how far back you want to go to say who owns the land. Every group has done awful things to every other group over there. And we've done awful things to groups from afar over there. And so, you know, maybe it is the only way. Again, I'm not defending Trump. I don't know. It sounds awful. I'm just saying, I don't fucking know what's going on. They just sued to shut down the Musk Doge access under privacy law, says Cosmic. I think that's good. Kevin says it's funny seeing liberal news media finally reporting on Gaza. This isn't liberal. This is the Drudge Report. You know, and again, people talk about the you know, Jaffe, you're a shill or whatever. Man, I would love to shill for this company. I've talked about this company all the time. I don't give a shit. They don't pay me anything, but I go to Ground News usually. Ground News tells you what you're missing out that the right's reporting that the left isn't, tells you what the left's reporting that the right isn't, tells you who owns the reporting, who owns the paper, tells you conflict of interest. They work with 3 different companies to verify where they fall on the spectrum of right, left, center. So, you know, I love this company.
A Ground News sponsorship?
I've tried to get a sponsorship, but I don't know how to. I tweeted the guy, but I don't know if his account's still open. They wrote to me about 2 years ago and said, "Hey, thanks for mentioning us on your stream." I'm like, "Yeah, I love your shit." And then the other day, I'm like, "Hey, let's do a sponsorship, but I haven't heard from them because I don't even know if that account's still open. I don't know if, I mean, my show might be a little too bawdy for these guys, but whether or not they sponsor us or not, I really recommend this. Because, you know, we all have to, you know, we all have to accept that all of us have blind spots, no matter if you're right or left, you know. So if you are lefty like me, you know, the left isn't reporting much on Mexico initiates 10,000 troop border deployment as part of Trump's deal. That might be good. Well, hey, that's good. Why isn't the left reporting on it? But then on the right, why isn't the right saying judge blocks Trump's order forcing incarcerated transgender women to live in male facilities? I think that's a good thing. That was blocked. The right's not telling you that. I think it's I understand the law right. So he's saying that, yeah, if you're a transgender woman, you aren't going to be forced to live with men. Google drops pledge not to use AI for weapons. The left's telling you, but the right's not. That's good stuff. It's good to know that shit, man. It's good to know that shit, man. What was just mean, Cosmic? You mean that law? Yeah, of course. Of course. Kevin says, what the fuck are you talking about, Jaffe? Tech, am I making sense or am I having a stroke? Sometimes I worry about that. Sometimes I worry that I'm saying shit and I'm like, I'm just on autopilot. And I'm like, shit, am I having a stroke? He just said, what the fuck are you saying? What is he?
Ignore Kevin. I think he may be gay. I'm not sure if you knew.
Oh, I've heard about that. I've heard a rumor about that. So is that a real thing?
Kevin, is that true? Are you
no, I mean people can be gay. People can be gay.
I heard it was just video games or DEI inclusion in
it might be. Somebody said that Victor's rocket and ray gun show is on right now, and I'm actually on it. Is it bad form for me to show it? Is that bad? I don't want to.
It's a premiere.
Yeah, but I don't want to take anything away from Victor. It's his show. It's not like we have a big fucking audience compared to Victor. I mean, he's got like almost 80,000 subs.
We currently have 413 viewers. No, we don't. I'm joking. It's 60.
It depends where you're watching. It's very hard to tell viewers anymore. Now that we're streaming to Twitch and Twitter and YouTube, it's very difficult to tell because it says it. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah. This Victor guy is handsome.
Victor's been on the show.
Got awards.
Yeah.
He's like a TV star.
Is he like your age?
He's a little younger.
Oh.
Fuck you. I'm going to get rid of the beard. I'm so tired of this fucking beard. Because everybody acts like whenever I shave the beard, they're like, Jesus, Jeff, you look 20 years younger. I'm like, yeah, it's like Steve Martin. It's prematurely gray. I'm not like people go, I thought you were like 80. I'm like, really? 80? You fuck?
I was trying to make you feel better by saying you guys look like the same age. He looks young. He looks like he's 38 or so.
He's like in his 40s or something.
Nah, not that guy.
I will never get just for men, Robbo. I don't have vanity. I'm just kind of like, okay, if I am being construed as being I won't change it because it's too much of a pain in the ass to shave it. Who wants to do that shit? I'm not doing that shit. Fuck you. So I'm 80. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. A pink beard. I don't want a pink beard, but I'll color it. I'll put some shit in it. I don't want to dye it, but like make it crazy. I'll do that shit.
Donation goal?
Yeah.
$1,000?
No, to do what though?
To dye it like blue.
Can you go to like a professional dyer?
Yep.
Because I don't want to do the work myself unless it's just like getting makeup costume stuff.
Go to a hair salon. It's I want to say like $80 or so.
All right. So yeah, we'll do a goal. If we get $1,000, I will dye it any color that the chat wants that is available. I don't know.
We'll do.
I don't know.
Well, you can just request and they'll make a color.
Let me see.
If they like you, they'll say brown. If they don't like you.
Well, hang on. I don't care. I'll do whatever. But hair salon.
Would you do purple?
I'll do whatever. Hair salon, beard dye, color options.
Can you imagine going to like the grocery store or getting gas in the car?
And hairdressers dye beards. Salons often use so they do it.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hair salon, San Diego, beard dye.
We have a couple wealthy guys in the chat that could just afford it. One donation right now, and I will set the appointment for his hair salon.
No, you'll film it live. We'll stream it.
Yeah, for $1,000, I will go out to California. I will do the fucking 6 hours.
But I just want to see what the options are for the color.
Their choice. I'm sure they can do whatever color you want to accommodate. Neon green would be wild, like Grinch green.
Let's see.
Grinch green beard.
Okay, let's see what we got. I want something weird, man. I mean, I don't care. They can. Oh, look at that. That's cool. The rainbow. That's woke. Come on now. Or we should dye it. We should dye it Vera Dark's color.
Oh, God. What is her color?
It's like
anger and dread.
Red. Yeah. Well, can we play Civ 7 with you online? Thank you, Alex. I'm going to be getting it, and I will be playing it. And if I like it, I'll play online with you guys. How many players is Civ online? Is it just 1v1 or is it multiple?
No, it's like 16, 32.
Oh shit! Yeah. Shit, yeah. All right. Well, look. I mean, again, I can't see anybody actually donating collectively $1,000. But if you guys want to pair up, and I'll dye it any color you want. I don't know why that would matter to you, but I'll do it.
There has to be someone in the chat who's like, yeah, I used to be the network engineer for Boeing.
Look at that. That's a purple one. I like the purple. I like the green, but I like the rainbow. It reminds me of a snow cone. So anyway, right.
if we do hit 1,000, I will go out to California and I'll stream it live.
There you go. And then if you live in the area, we'll have lunch with you. But we're not paying for your fucking lunch. Don't be a bitch.
Pay for my lunch?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Look at that. That's great. Look at that. That's a fake one though. Anyway, whatever. Do what you want to do. It's super woke. You goddamn right. Jean-Paul Sartre says Zach argued that existence precedes essence, meaning humans are not born with predefined purpose or nature. With that said, my question is, how big is The Rock's dick? Yeah, I don't know. Let's just look up a picture of The Rock. The Rock in wrestling, right? Because that's where we probably see him wearing the little panties they wear.
I'm setting the goal now, by the way. It's for up until the end of February.
Oh, that's too long. No,
we're doing it to the end of February, and we're gonna have a halfway goal. We get $500 super chats.
I mean, he doesn't look like he's got a big dick, right? Guys who have big penises, you can tell. It's like, damn, that's a big penis.
He's a tucker.
Maybe.
Hey, he tucks.
Let's see. Which WWE star has biggest dick?
I just Googled The Rock's penis.
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, no, it's massive.
You did not look at The Rock's. Oh shit!
Jesus Christ!
Oh shit! Oh, that's not on the screen. Thank God. I'm like, I don't want to show that. Hang on. Okay. Let's see.
It looks like he's taking a shit from the front.
I don't want to see that. You can actually see The Rock's penis. Why would you even be able to see his penis?
It's huge. Let me share my screen.
Oh God! Don't share it on the broadcast though.
Why not?
Because we'll get demonetized, dude. We can't show nudity.
You think so?
I know so. What are you doing? Yeah, no, you're not showing that on the fucking stream, dude. Oh, okay. He's wearing outfit.
Yeah, he's wearing an outfit. Yeah, this is a different photo. The actual photo though is wild, guys.
Well, let's make it big. That's his dick. That's pretty big dick.
It starts up here.
Holy cannoli. So, well, that's not that. Okay. It's a wide one, but I don't know how long it is, right?
Yeah. It's like a front poop,
Oh yeah, I suppose. Who's this guy? He's got a pretty big dick too.
I don't know, but he's unnamed big dick character too.
Interesting. All right. But look at that. He's got pretty, it says not looking, but it's impossible not to notice the huge bulge on The Rock, but he could also have stuffed that stuff. Right?
Nah, The Rock?
I don't fucking know. He's a celebrity, man.
He played the Tooth Fairy in the Tooth Fairy movies. Like,
I don't know.
He doesn't have
Why-
the social like.
Addy Pie says, Jaffe, why such a gay conversation? It's only gay if you're aroused by it. Tech Protect and I are
it's Addy
basically
Pie.
having a scientific discussion about, I mean, imagine being The Rock and being that kind of guy that is famous for the ultimate male. And they used to be a wrestler, says PK, called Big Dick Johnson. I didn't know that. Imagine being a guy who's known for that. And then at night, though, you get in the shower and it's like this little tiny little acorn penis. I'm just saying that's got to be an interesting schism in your brain, basically. Which says, nah, this shit's weird. Only men talk about stuff. Well, we are men. But we're not excited by his penis. We're more fascinated by it, right? It would be like looking at like the guy who played Urkel and learning that Urkel has a massive penis and going, holy cow. Like, I will not tell you who it is, but there is a very big video game developer nerd. And I learned at a conference one year that this guy has the most voracious sexual appetite. And he is an absolute player. And if I told you who it was, you'd go, no fucking way. And I'm like, yes, fucking way. And I was stunned by that. So that's what's interesting about it, is just the contrast, the chasm betwixt perception of reality and the actual reality itself. Related, Zach says, how does the increasing polarization in United States politics challenge the notion of a shared democratic purpose and true political compromise still exists? I mean, it's a republic, it's not a democracy, but I know what you're saying. The issue is not challenging the notion of a shared democratic purpose. The problem is not the Constitution. The problem is the Constitution is not written to take into account people's greed. And so if we were better people, the Constitution and the notion of a shared democratic purpose wouldn't be a challenge. But we really assumed, or maybe we didn't, that people were going to, in good faith, not shit all over equality. And in that, we have corporations and very rich people controlling a lot of shit that they shouldn't be controlling. The fact that the world or Americans are not up in arms every fucking minute of the day, that Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos were all at the inauguration and have the president's ear, and Elon gave $300 million to the campaign and now suddenly has access to the treasury. I mean, that's got nothing to do with the Constitution. That has everything to do with the fact that we don't have guardrails for how greedy we are. Although I guess one could argue that the Constitution needs that, but it is what it is. I'm not going to tell you who the person is. I won't do it. I absolutely won't do it. Because it's not my place to, and I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm just saying that what's interesting about that particular video game person is the fact that, you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't think about them in that way. Kind of like Urkel having a very large penis, is what I would say.
Or Drake. Drake has a massive dick.
Does he? But Nugget says, tell us after they get Me Too'd. Just because you have a voracious sexual appetite doesn't mean you're a creep. You may just like sex a lot. And as long as you have consensual sex and you're respectful of the people you're having it with, those two things don't have to be paired together. Ben Brody says, you don't have to tell us because it's Mark Cerny. Here's what I can tell you.
That's funny.
It's not Mark Cerny, or if it is, that would be news to me. I'm not saying it's news like you got to be crazy. I'm saying that that's not the person I'm talking about. And you would be revealing news to me, not the other way around in that case. So no, it's not Mark that I'm talking about.
Jeffy, we are at 8:13. We have a stream tomorrow morning, 10:30. If we are going to play some Kingdom Come Deliverance, it'd be a good time to end the Jaffe talk, switch over.
Yeah, so here's what we'll do. I'm going to check and see what the family's up to tonight. If we're doing something, I won't be streaming tonight. If we're not doing something, then I'll be back in, 30 minutes, and we'll play some games.
Sick. And then last announcement, the giveaway for the Killing Antidote Steam key
yes.
is on the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, I'll put a link in the YouTube chat. I get there faster than another mod, or a mod can beat me. Who's going to beat me to it? Is there another mod? Can it beat me to the Discord chat? Let's see.
But yes, Alex from the Killing Antidote dev team, thank you for coming on and sharing your really interesting stories about that game. He was very generous. He gifted us 10 codes for this early access game on Steam. If you're interested, go over to Discord now. It's set up for you. We'll let you know who gets that tomorrow. There's 10 of them, so you have a good chance. And we're back tomorrow at 10:30 with either a Jaffe Talks or a Gabbin' and Games, depending on what the news is. Thank you guys for the gifted memberships. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for hanging out and talking games and weird shit. And if you have an idea for something you want us to talk about, let me know in Twitter. Let me know in Discord. But for now, that is our show. Thank you guys. Thank you, Tech. Thank you, Mods. Thank you, Bukaki. Thank you, Rob. I don't know if I saw RPG, but appreciate it, you guys. And Tech, I'll call you in 5 minutes and let's. I want to talk to you about some of the marketing stuff, and then we'll see if we're going to be streaming.
Sounds good.
All right. See you guys. Bye, everybody. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. And then you say,